Welcome to the Dave Knows Wrestling live stream. Hope you caught that in time.
It's every time we were doing something.
Every time, because we get wrapped up talking about stuff.
I know.
And then I was like, yeah, let's go. Oh, yeah, right. I forgot to adjust this. Okay, I'm your host, David Lee, and back again, my co-host.
I'm Albert Albanese, and it's good to see you guys again.
That's right. Fancy thumbnail.
Need the fancy thumbnail with my name on it. I feel so special.
As you should.
Oh, I
hey,
do.
Degenerate. This is going to drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so base up, yeah. yes.
Base up, can you please tell me what
No.
you're choosing?
He's got to keep it a secret till Friday.
All right, base up. There's got to be a way we can communicate. I want to know.
Yeah, we got a Friday. I want the surprise. I want
that's fair. We should keep it a surprise.
So yes, in case you don't know what's going on, hey, Taylor made Kendall Taylor. Just Kendall Taylor now. What up? As you guys may or may not know, made a bet on Friday's live stream with Base Up that if Drew McIntyre won the Royal Rumble, I would have to watch 3 Shawn Michaels matches of his choosing on the network. Nothing weird that I gotta like find somewhere. Just something on the network, something I can watch legally. And as you guys know, Drew McIntyre won. So on Friday, I'm going to try to come on early, try and get it out the way so it doesn't interfere with the main show. Yeah. When it got down to the final 5, I was rooting for no one. I was hoping like 31 would come out.
Horrible. AJ, what's going on, buddy? Arthur, Degenerate, good to see you guys. And yes, I guess we would be remiss to just not start the show. There was a huge tragedy yesterday, and our thoughts and prayers are with the families of everyone who were involved in that horrible helicopter crash. A 13-year-old child and her friends who were around the same age is a horrible, thing to see. But the one thing you can take away from it is always make sure that you are honest about everything and tell everybody how you feel about them, because tomorrow is never guaranteed. So I love you, buddy.
Love you too, pal. And while we're being honest, Base Up, you suck. You too, Arthur. Well, now, Arthur, my friend, I was watching Roman, we're talking to him, and he goes, wow, dude, stop betting on live stream. You just keep losing. I said, well, thanks to me.
Arthur said that, too.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up. I said, well, thanks to me, Drew McIntyre won the Rumble because I mushed it into existence. You're welcome. I took it on the chin for everybody's
benefit. Thank you, Dave.
Just so you're not stuck with Roman Reigns again, you're welcome. That's how I view it.
I would love to hear what your opinions are about the Rumble.
There was no chance Drew could win. I was like, if the bet wasn't on, I'd be rooting for Drew all the way. The only thing I will take away from the only other reason I wouldn't root for Drew is because I'm a big believer in getting as many people over as possible. I do feel that by eliminating Brock, he got enough of a rub that you probably could have had a SmackDown guy win and challenge Bray for.
Yeah, but that would have been Roman.
No, I didn't say I wanted Roman. I'm just saying
would have been Roman.
It could have been a way to maximize more people getting over, is what I'm trying to say. You could have pushed 2 people with that event. I mean, I'm fine with. If it wasn't for the bet, I'd be perfectly fine with Drew. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Richard Lee, how are you? All hail King Albert. I really appreciate that. AJ Envoy, yeah, I agree.
Wait. You're King Albert, so that means you used to be Prince Albert.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll take it.
so
actually, on that subject,
what?
Yeah, no. Well, I ordered a set of pins from.
Thank you for the super chat, Big Blue Attack. Drew McIntyre, indeed, for the win. Look, I am happy for Drew. I mean, after this Friday's over, I'm probably going to be happier.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I ordered a set of pins from Zack Ryder.
For?
Just, they have, like, every couple of months they come out with pins.
Okay.
Yeah, just like things to collect, whatever.
With your segue, I was just wondering.
Yes. So they're just pins. They have, like, the characters from the podcast on there. And on the envelope, he addressed it to Prince Albert Albanese. My first time, because my middle name on Facebook is Justice, because my father and I have the same middle name. So there's no distinction between the two of us. So I had to figure out a way to discern us.
You're a junior?
I'm a third.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, crazy. So the first time he sent me anything, it was actually addressed to Albert Sid Justice Albanese, which I thought was good too. So cool. I've gotten 2 nicknames from Zack Ryder so far.
And Big Blue Attack, no, seriously, thank you very much for the super chat. Thank you for getting this rolling, and thank you so much for being here, as always. Super chat, $2 super chat, thank you. And yeah, you know what, I gotta admit, overall, I really did like the Rumble. I thought it was a good show. All bets aside. Yeah, but hold on real quick. Arthur has apparently said something stupid. I was hoping Dana Brooke and the homie Aleister Black would have won. Yeah, I'm with AJ Envoy on that one. Look, I don't like Dana Brooke falls in the category like the Ascension. I didn't particularly care for them when they were riding high in NXT, but then now when they're on the main roster, I'm like, come on, you could make better use of them than that. What are you doing?
Here's my thing. Look, and Arthur, everybody has their favorites. I like Dana. I just think she's
very underutilized.
She's very underutilized, but she's still not, I don't think, a top tier character yet. They need to define her a lot more.
Hey, Terrell. Base up, yeah, no, Sasha too, but apparently Sasha hurt, and that's the only...
Oh, wait, Sasha got hurt again?
Yeah.
Oh.
She got pulled from... Well, they didn't confirm it, but she had a live show match that she didn't go for. Like, she just wasn't there for it, so...
I'm
assuming she's hurt.
Just throwing this out there. This is why my first video that we ever did with you, I back it up all the time. She cannot stay healthy.
I know.
She can't stay healthy.
Agree. I said the same thing when they said they were going to have the main event for the pay-per-view being Charlotte and her for the cell. I was like...
Sasha's going to get hurt.
I was like, yeah, somehow she didn't, though.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was like, that match with Botch Machine Charlotte? I was like, there is no way Sasha doesn't get hurt. Apparently there is, so... I was like, why can't you put a girl against Charlotte that could take a little more of a beating? I was like, but no, they were fine.
Sarah Logan.
Well, at the time.
No, I'm just saying now. They're like, all right, wait, we need somebody to get beat up by Charlotte. Sarah Logan. There you go.
Yeah. There was also another tragedy that happened on Friday. Degenerate. Oh, okay. Brock should have put the title on the line. Wait, I forget who we're talking about. Now, look, I mean, I will say this. It's like, I know that anytime you say, if I say something positive about WWE, everyone thinks I'm just a WWE fan. Well, not you guys, but the dum-dums out there, Arthur, think I'm just a pro WWE guy. Or if I say something negative about WWE, then I'm just some smart Arthur. As last Wednesday's video said, what did he say?
Arthur said something great. I appreciate
What
that.
did he say? What stupid say?
He said that I was secret hoping Corbin would win after Alistair got eliminated so that he can just see your reaction.
Oh, no. Yeah, what? Yeah. They would have to take my shoelaces and belt away from me. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But I will say WWE still is the best in the game. They maybe they didn't do it all the time. Maybe they take risks at it, and they failed sometimes. But they are the best when it comes to milking that reaction from the fans, reeling you in.
Yeah.
They had you go through the Brock formula of going against Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, beating up on the small guy, thinking that it's just going to be a squash. Small guy comes back. Then when you finally have hope again, Brock wins. They kind of did that just in Rumble format. He just squashing through half of it. You grow and go, oh, crap, this is what we're going to do. And you're convinced it's going to be a squash. And then someone gives you hope, like Keith
Kofi.
Lee.
Kofi was first.
I thought for sure Kofi was going to be number 2, and Brock was just going to throw him right out. That's what I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to be 9 seconds, toss Kofi out. That's really what I thought was going to happen.
When Kofi came in, AJ, please remind me. I will get back to that. I have thoughts about that. When Kofi came in, I was like, all right, if he lasts more than 9 seconds, this is a success. And here's the thing about the Rumble. And we didn't get to see as much of it as we wanted to, but there were a lot of guys, everybody was like, this is so BS. Brock isn't around all the time. I'd love to see him in the ring with Big E. And we got to see him in the ring with Big E. I want to see him in the ring with Cesaro. We got him to see him in the ring with Cesaro. Yes, I know. We only got a few seconds of each. I absolutely understand that. But at least they gave it to a little bit of a taste of all of it.
This is what I said to myself. Oh, well, I said this to my friend. I said out loud. I was like, Brock's sitting there going, I only want to work like 5 times a year, but I want to bury like 100 people. How can I do this in the best possible way?
Oh, man.
It's, I still need to squash Braun Strowman 3 times a year. Oh,
And look, who just brought up EJK? You bring up a good point. There were some guys that I really just didn't understand why they fed to Brock really fast. Like Bobby Roode, all right, I get it. Elias, okay, cool. But Morrison, like you could have put Morrison in a little bit of a later number and let him,
My one major complaint, Kofi and Morrison, no goofy crap. No goofy parkour stuff.
I was happy about that.
No.
And here's the reason why. No. Here's the reason why. Every year it's 100% abundantly clear that we're going to have some sort of weird creative thing to do.
Uh-huh.
This year,
no.
It goes out the window. Brock was there. No, he beats the crap out of you. That's
it. We got it.
You got Naomi.
We got... oh, yeah. I was going to say Mania and Otis. But no. Having Kofi do goofy crap in the Rumble is becoming one of the clutch positions that happens every year, like the Iron Man, like the clearing the house. There are certain standards, and yes, at this point in time, Kofi doing goofy crap is one of them. And I know he's run out of ideas, but now he's got his parkour brother with John Morrison, who also was doing that goofy crap too. And people forget.
Well, he was the first one.
People forget that John Morrison was starting that goofy stuff.
He did.
So what kind of dumb stuff could they have figured out together? That's all I wanted. I wanted some weird, stupid thing where they break the stratosphere and, just stave off elimination. Somehow figure out a way to go Super Saiyan or something. I don't care. Just something. Between the two of them, you're telling me they couldn't figure anything out this year? It's ridiculous.
I mean, yeah.
Candice LeRae and Cesaro in my Rumble.
Wow. Well, at least you got Cesaro.
Yeah, they didn't win, but yes,
That's
thank
right.
you for.
I got Sarah Logan.
Fun. Hey, having
King
having
Corbin,
those
so.
two, I'm not complaining about
Yes.
either because I'm a big fan of both of them. Dude, there's only so much of that they can do. Yeah, I get it, but now he's got a new partner.
And I understand where you're coming from, but my thing was that, and a lot of people say, like, all right, so I will put it to you this way. Last night was fun for me because I watched the Royal Rumble with three very casual and one more casual than anything wrestling fan. So a friend of mine who really doesn't watch wrestling at all knew about 6 people in the Rumble, and that was it. And it was fun. It was fun for him. It was fun for me to get like his opinions on stuff. Yeah. I was a little upset he wasn't sold on the Fiend. I was a little upset about that. But other than that,
the Rumble is gateway wrestling.
Right.
It's a gateway pay-per-view.
But we were all watching it and everything like that, and nobody they didn't know about these things. But one of my friends, does watch enough, and he was like, "Oh man, Kofi didn't do anything crazy, and Morrison didn't do anything crazy." And I was like, "Yeah, but you know what? I'm okay with it because this year was different." And I like the fact that this Rumble told a different story than any other Rumble in history.
Yeah, it told a story. How often do Rumbles even do that?
And the whole Rumble told a story.
And they nuked you for it. And they totally played you like a fiddle. And
that's the thing. It was like the entire Royal Rumble told a story. Right. The payoff of what's his name, Ricochet kicking Brock in the balls before McIntyre kicked him in the head was hearkening to that Brock doing the same thing to Ricochet before. They kept Edge. The first person that Edge touched, Dolph Ziggler. A guy who he has more, history with in WWE than just about anybody else that's on the active roster.
You know what? And that is something that I often, look, nerds like continuity and all this stuff like that. Comic book nerds are notorious for that. But the things I find weird is there are certain nerdy activities that don't really have a lot of continuity and no one calls them out onto it. Like, Star Trek is like one of the nerdiest shows there is. They have terrible continuity.
Yeah.
Like, you ever tried, there are things that happen that they never talk about again. Hey, but it's so good. Star Trek is so smart. It's like, is it? It's... Spock shows back up in Next Gen. Never hear it.
Sound like my dad.
Yeah. Or Scotty came back in Next Gen. Did they ever talk about it again? No. It's like, who? What? Hey, there are 2 Rikers around in this universe. We'll never talk about it again. Yeah, I know. Picard's out there is great. Anyway. But wrestling is also guilty of that too. Because wrestling has very interesting continuity. They choose to remember things when they feel like it.
Right.
But lately, I've noticed WWE is getting more into its history. I don't know if that's a reaction to AEW doing... I mean, I know AEW doesn't really have history. It's a couple of months ago.
They're just pulling from the history of the business.
They're doing a lot better. They're doing a much better job at it, and that's something I've always wanted WWE to do. Like the Charlotte Paige feud, when Paige dropped the line about Charlotte's brother, which, nay.
Yeah.
I said what I wanted was Paige had been very open about her relationship with Dusty Rhodes and her his involvement with her training and development.
Right.
I wanted him to just pitch it, the Dusty girl versus the Flair girl. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I know there's like 8 people who would care about that. But now, come the Rumble, the Minnesota Stretching Crew reunion, something that 10 people knew about or care about. So now WWE is saying, screw it, let's just test the nerd G.
And I loved that.
And I love it too. Yeah,
that was so good.
Now it's like they're pulling from their own history, pulling the obscure crap that like not most people don't know or care about, and just said, screw it. And reference it. If they keep doing this, I'll be happy about it. There's one thing I want them to do, because they have a richer history than any other company.
Right.
Screw it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I completely agree. And I really feel that they've also started to pull from history outside the company too. Like they'll mention a little bit more now. Like, hey,
Britt Baker was in the audience.
No, yeah, well, I mean, they didn't really mention that, but I'm saying like
they mentioned it.
Did they?
They called her. They showed it and called her out on it. Yeah, they identified her. Yeah.
Really? I didn't. Was that during the
NXT? No, NXT. It was.
Oh. Okay. See, I didn't watch that. Yeah.
Kurt Angle mentioned TNA at one time.
Right. Sami Zayn mentioned AEW.
Yeah, they're
right. And they talked about how, like, you know, AJ Styles and Nakamura wrestled for the New Japan Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, right.
Like, and I like that. You know, we can admit that there are other companies out there that these guys were at before, and it's okay.
Right.
It's totally okay. But I love when they pull back on their own history.
Yeah, yeah.
And I loved that, like you said, Brock and Shelton was a great idea.
Nobody knows what that is, but they just said do it anyway.
Yeah. I loved that, like I said, the first guy that Edge touched was Ziggler. You know, I love that they did the rated RKO thing.
And that was surprising. I thought they would just pretend that never happened.
Right.
Like wrestling, it was like when South Park started introducing continuity. It's like, wait a minute, did they reference the last episode? Weird, I don't know what to do now.
That double RKO? I loved it. Like, this is just like, they're harkening back on their past. I was so cool with that.
Sammy Guevara was outside of the Rumble. But all right.
I mean, they're trying, I guess.
That was funny. It was funny. I like that he did it, but I feel like it's getting redundant though. I'm like, Cody did that. Like,
yeah, I know. Something I actually recently found out that I didn't know. You know that Sammy Guevara was actually once one of the Rosebuds?
No, but that does not surprise me.
That's crazy. Like, I never knew that. Like, I knew, like, Tessa. I knew about, like, the guys who are currently under contract. But there was a picture I saw, and I was like, oh, my God, that's Sammy Guevara. You know, like, where did that come from?
It's also amazing with the video that dropped today. I've gotten so much heat from last Wednesday's video. But yet, that's today. Last week's video was 7 former WWE talents that should not be hired by AEW.
I watched that. It was a good video.
That is the most heat I've gotten for anything.
Who were they mad about?
Surprisingly, Tony Schiavone.
No, I was totally okay with Schiavone. Actually, everybody on your list made sense except for Billy Gunn to me. And only because Billy Gunn is being...
His name is Billy Gunn. If he was going by Kip James, that would change things a lot. But he's going by Billy Gunn and saying, suck it on TV.
I don't know how we
get away with that. And he was also at number 7. I think it's the same thing like the Cody Rhodes thing, where a lot of people assume there was a name infringement, but some of these guys are just doing it on their own. Or maybe when Billy Gunn came back, he made a new deal to get the name Billy Gunn.
Could have been. Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. But the point of the match, Dave, where is the video addressing the comments? Well, only a couple of you guys talked about it. Like, when we talked about it on Friday, only like 3 of you were on board. So I decided I'm probably not going to do it. I did try filming it, but it was a rough go about.
What was that?
I was thinking of maybe having a reaction video where I just talk about comments or anything like that. But I respond to comments anyway, and I had the live stream. I did seriously think about it. I made an attempt at it, but it just felt like a live stream, but talking to no one. So I was like, forget it. I'll just...
So I actually have... Inigo Montoya, what's up, buddy? And
Inigo
yes,
Montoya.
AJ, we're going to get to Bayley. 100% yes.
Uncle Krog, what's up?
I actually did one of my first videos called Ripping the Net on my channel, and that's what it was. It was me finding comments in comment sections of wrestling posts and ripping into people who made them.
Everyone agreed based off. I must have missed it. I saw like 3 people say something, and everyone else just didn't care one way or the other.
So I filmed another one, which was a reaction video to the whole Tessa Blanchard situation and everything else. And based up, it is coming. I'm gonna post it this week. I wasn't gonna post it because it does feel like a live, like you said, it feels like doing a live stream.
It is a live stream, but you do
without actually having people there. So I wasn't crazy about it. I'm gonna post it.
It's a weirder feeling.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it, but I don't know how much more. I want to do live streams, but my laptop's just not letting me.
And
so.
I'd rather talk to you guys straight up. So like in the end, I'm more than happy to address any comments specifically from the videos. And the other thing was too, like when it comes to the reaction video, I don't know that I'm gonna get that much reactions from other things. Like the Tessa thing, it's an honest promo. Honest promos typically get a lot of heat. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There are people who love it, but then there are usually people who take things the wrong way, no matter how obvious it is that I'm kidding. And everyone also ignores the fact that the vast majority of honest promos I've done are on people I like. I don't do people I don't like because that's just way too tempting to rip the cord. It's like the show Michaels, Baron Corbin, like those could have been an hour long if I really want. I pulled myself at a time limit.
I want to address a few things. One, based up you're crazy. Adam Gase is not winning the Jets anything.
Harry Flynn, yes, I can wait. I if anything, I hope I have no memory of it. That's honest promo. Yeah, that's honest promo. But yeah, that doesn't get a lot of heat. The honest promo. This one so far so good.
AJ Envoy, my live streams. I don't know if I addressed this a couple of weeks ago. Right now, my laptop doesn't support any service that I can live stream from. I don't know what the problem is.
It used to.
It didn't. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think that next time, I might just bring it with me to see if we can take a look at it to see if there's something I'm doing wrong. but for some reason it's not working. So I want I want to do them, but I can't. And also, YouTube made it so you can't do it from your phone anymore unless you have a certain amount of viewers. So if you guys can get me about like 900 more viewers, I could do it. Yeah.
You mean subscribers?
Subscribers, yes. I'm sorry. Harry, your video is recorded, and I will edit it soon.
I'll be right back.
And yes, I am, AJ. I'm going to look into getting another laptop soon. But it's funds right now. I'm running very low on money. Even though I got a promotion, like I'm trying to save up money. I'm trying to get my own apartment. It's a whole bunch of things I'm trying to do. So laptop isn't at the very top of the list, but I do want to get it because I want to do more live streams. I considered even coming here to do a live stream, but then that's a lot more of a commitment for me because I don't live very close to where we're at right now. So it's a lot. But I will get there. And AJ, as soon as I do, I will make sure you know.
You know what? Here, I got a question for you since Bezos there. So last year you predicted that the fans would turn on Seth Rollins. Do you see the same fate falling Drew McIntyre?
No.
Why? What's the difference?
The difference is that I don't think that McIntyre. I think McIntyre is more of a badass, and I don't think they'll book him in the same way as they did Seth. I also think that the reason why fans turned on Rollins was because they just get tired of anybody being shoved into their faces, no matter who it is. For some reason, AJ Styles escaped that. I don't think Drew will be because I don't think Drew's been shoved in their faces, before this at any point. I think this is one of those moments where everybody's like, well, Drew deserves it. He's never been a world champion before. He's never gotten a world title shot. There's nothing where you can say anything negative about Drew McIntyre yet. I think if he beats Brock, it's going to be great. I think if he dominates the roster, I think everybody's going to go, well, this is the Brock Lesnar we wanted, only he's here every week. And then I think that eventually when he loses the title, he's going to keep enough steam.
Yeah, degenerate Seth Rollins. Yeah, I guess that's due. I mean, I have done 3 women on his promos in a row, so I guess I should switch it up with a guy. The problem is, in case you haven't noticed a pattern, I try to wait till someone does something stupid, and it's like, then I'll talk about it because then it's hot. Here's the way YouTube and everything works, for those of you who care about the workings of it. It's like, this channel is mostly evergreen topics. It's mostly using other ideas or teaching you about other stuff and just using wrestling as a platform for doing that.
Hey, Darnell.
Darnell.
I agree.
Problem with that is, by doing that, you have to know what you're searching for YouTube. YouTube tends to click on things you like. So it's like the channel is different enough where people don't find it. So one of the major things for honest promos is if I strike while the iron's hot with somebody that's topical, that's like a nice way to bring people in to counteract my normal criteria of less, on point things. Like if you look at, so I don't want to get too much into the whole YouTube like strategy guide here, but that's my thinking behind it. So I typically wait for honest promos because I know it's a very good opportunity to capitalize on something when it needs to happen, and it's something I need to be doing anyway.
Richard Lee, it does not have a virus. It's actually just not, for some reason, I think the video card or the memory, there's something wrong with that, even though that I hit everything, that I was supposed to there. I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. I'll figure it out.
Arthur talking about negative about Seth and Becky.
No, I think he's trying to bring up the fact that Drew isn't dating Becky Lynch, so fans aren't going to get excited of it. I don't think it was the Seth Becky thing. I think that
didn't help.
I don't think it helped. I don't think.
To me, it wasn't one thing. It was a multitude
I think it was
things.
that. I think it was the comments on social media.
That was a big one.
And other than that, but that's the thing. It wasn't, and everybody was like, it's the way they book Seth. It's really not.
It was the way they booked Seth. The Becky thing was definitely a way to book Seth.
Okay.
And again.
But how did that hurt Seth more than Becky? Nobody turned their back on Becky Lynch.
No.
But everybody turned their back on Seth.
Nobody has been mentioning that the man has cooled down significantly.
Cooled down
significantly. Nobody. Yeah, everybody says that.
Cooled down, but nobody turned their back on her.
Everyone talked. She had hotter momentum going into it than Seth too.
Sure she did.
And everyone has been talking about how this has been dropped. Everyone has noticed a palpable difference in how she's cooled off significantly. A complete and total drop in her character. Yeah, she's not as down as Seth, but she also started in a much, much higher place.
I don't know about that, though.
Because
I feel like
did.
Everybody was talking for like a full year about, man, Seth deserves to be in the main event. He's having the best matches.
But that's not Revolution leading. There's a significant,
no. I'll give you
significant difference.
You're saying a lot. I think maybe I just thought it was a little bit closer. 100%.
not.
Becky was 100% above Seth. 100%.
She was one of the cover people on the game. Seth was not. Like,
yeah.
This was more her year. It was way more her year. And plus, they also rebounded. And again, she didn't say stupid stuff on social media. The funny thing is, people were kind of. The funny thing is, she's like a social media Twitter genius, and Seth's an idiot when it comes to Twitter. It's like you think he would go, "Hey, babe, is this okay? Can I send this?"
Yeah, he really should be.
Okay, you think he'd be smart enough to do that. And another thing I want to point out, though, I will say in Seth's defense, the thing that happened over the weekend was with Seth on Twitter was ridiculous, absolute ridiculous.
Did I miss something?
Oh, yeah. So there's a picture. His friend is running a coffee house with some photography and all that. Okay. So there's a black and white photo. He shared several pictures, but one of them was this black and white photo with these three figures wearing black robes and black witches hats, and they were three witches. But it's a black and white photo, so it's 3 pointed hoods. Everyone said this is KKK. He's supporting white supremacy.
Oh my God! Come on.
This is what I mean. That's too Look, I don't think this is everybody. And again, I'm not the black and white kind of guy. I don't make things forgetting about, I don't want to forget that there's multiple people and multiple things. There's always multifaceted. But there are some people that say a percentage of woke culture is looking to be offended. I don't think that's true for the majority of it, but that is definitely, I do feel there are some people. And when you are going after Seth Rollins for that, definitely Seth retracted the picture and said, apologized and said, I would never support this. And he said, F the KKK. He's like, not down with that whatsoever. Not down, F racism. But my other point is, Seth's not white. Like, are we forgetting that?
Yeah. His name is Colby Lopez.
He's also, he's not that. That's his adopted stepdad.
Even still.
But point out matter
he was raised by people who were Hispanic.
But also his background, ethnic. He's, I believe, Armenian, if I'm not
Well,
mistaken.
then there you go.
Right. My point
the man's not white.
If you checked, or at least not 100, either way, if he went to a Klan meeting, they're kicking him out, is what I'm trying to get at it.
They'd call him a half-breed.
Right. So, yeah, my point of the matter is, it's like, he shouldn't have to apologize for this. They were clearly not, they were hooded figures, yes, but they weren't wearing white. They were wearing black. And I don't think there are any KK uniforms in black. I don't
know enough about the KKK to know that.
I don't know,
but why do other people?
So. Right.
I don't do research on them because I don't care about them. They're irrelevant to me.
Right, but yeah, so when people were attacking Seth for that, I'm like, easy. I was like, if you really want to wait, if you want to attack Seth for his Twitterness, he'll just wait. Like, he'll give you something else. Just you don't have to pick on him this one, especially when he can't. He's not down with white supremacy. To me, that's a really messed up accusation to put on somebody.
Yeah, really.
So like, that's kind of where I'm at. Hey, thank you, Antonio Cage. You're awesome too.
So a couple of things I wanted to talk about. First of all, just to address this now because I don't want to keep forgetting. AJ, all right, so here's the thing. I think that Bayley's being hurt more by the way she's being booked than anything else. I like the fact that she changed everything about her look. Because, look, I had a lot of people, looking last night. They were like, oh, man, Bayley, I hate that she cut her hair. I love that she cut her hair. Does she look as attractive as she did before when she had longer hair? I don't care. She's supposed to, change everything you like about her to become a heel. Wearing dark colors, getting rid of the Bayley buddies, cutting her hair, getting rid of that side ponytail.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I just read Harry say, shut up, Arthur. They asked me on Friday, who makes me laugh most? I'm like, Harry does.
It's fair.
I was like, Harry gets me.
But yeah, so that's my big thing. I like that she changed a lot about herself, but I just feel like there's not a lot to do with Bayley when they're putting her with somebody like Lacey Evans.
Thank you, Ben Espinosa. I disagree. The move was Lacey's daughter there. Let's get evil Izzy back and have them fight.
I kind of like that idea.
They can't do that for child labor reasons, but that would have been awesome.
But Izzy already is trained to be a wrestler, so I mean it's not.
I don't
fair
know how old she is, but if she's like a tween and she gets all, and her version of being heel is just being, not only is Bayley heel, but she also turned because she's like angsty and is like, whatever, this is stupid. I hate this. I would just find it hysterical.
I'm actually kind of yeah. I can agree. But
when you get around that age, nobody, everybody's kind of.
Vinny Montaigne, what's up, buddy? I was talking to Vinny before. Izzy's 13.
Perfect. Yeah, she'd be like, this is stupid. I hate this. I don't want to go to school anymore. No one understands me. Like, if that was her gimmick, I would be like, all right, heel turn. I'm convinced.
I also think that pairing.
I thought you were going to say Paige. I'm like, yeah, well, I guess kind of like Paige.
You kind of like Paige, yeah. Actually,
Paige.
yeah.
I thought that's where you're going.
I also think that Bayley's suffering from the fact that they put her back with Sasha, and Sasha had more momentum than Bayley did, and Bayley's the champion. Sasha came back and had like all this build, and everybody cared about her, and then, oh, by the way, my best friend won the title.
I just think they don't. It's about playing to people's strengths. Bayley does not talk well. Like, she's not the best promo.
No, she's not.
Scripted, unscripted, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She's a bit rough to listen to. She's also, the other problem is she's better on the chase than she is with a championship.
Right, but I mean, as a heel, I'm happy that she won it as a heel.
The heel was she didn't win it as a heel. She won it. She cashed the Money in the Bank. She won as a babyface.
And all right, well, I'm sorry. She turned heel.
Then she lost it, and then she re-won it.
Right. She won it as a heel the second time when she beat Charlotte for it.
Well, she turned. I mean, and it wasn't even a full turn. Like,
I know they haven't halved it, but you knew where it was coming.
I think it was my whole thing to this is I felt that it was very reactionary, and it's been piece by piece instead of a thought-out plan. I say this all the time. When you win a championship, the championship itself should have a storyline. There should be feuds and plots in between,
yes.
But there should be an overarching plot. And that's the fail-safe that we go on there. Why? And plus emotion, expressing of emotion. You have got to be able to express it. Bayley was really good at expressing happiness, but so far, mopey, mad, or angry, or whatever, she hasn't really done it. And I do think fans are tired of the entire, I turned because of you, the fans, you didn't support me. Like, I know wrestling is a lot of cliches recycled, but that's one that I really don't think works for a heel turn. And I don't know that she can ever work it again.
I mean, maybe. In my opinion, Bayley shouldn't go back to the hugger. She can be that with kids. Maybe should have badass but cool with the kids. AJ Lee pulled it off. I mean, look, here's the thing. I like Bayley a lot. I think she's talented in the ring. I think that, she deserves the spot she's in, but I just don't think she's ever officially found 100% where her footing is. I think there's an in-between gear that she has, and we haven't really found it yet.
I personally love the hugger gimmick. I think as I made a video on it, I think she was doomed and buried because just main roster didn't know how to book her. They wouldn't know what to do with her. Just like people said WCW wouldn't know what to do with Bret Hart, and they didn't. Well,
and they didn't.
Main roster doesn't know what to do Bayley, and they don't. But I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but when you think about it, how many times has someone gone back to an old gimmick, like a major change? And I don't mean just a heel or face turn, but changed their gimmick, then gone back to and it ever really worked out, and it's been as good or even in the area.
Nowhere near.
Because like Hogan went black and white, then he went back to regular. It was never the same. It was never as big as it was when he was there. There's plenty of guys. It doesn't really happen. Well, in your head, you're like, oh, if they go back, it'll be better. Normally, it just lets you down. Or normally, it's not the same. Like, you think you want. It's one of those things you say you want. But how many times can you ever really mention that it really, really works out? Because it really doesn't.
You're right. You're right.
WWE titles are MacGuffins? Yes, they are.
Another thing I wanted to bring up. All right, so this is a lot more of like, I know everybody noticed it, but this is a lot more big to people like Dave and I who have studied.
Hey, Kurt Wagner.
Bam. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. These, me and Dave have experience in production. My God, how bad was production last night? It was the worst in WWE history.
The pre-show was.
No, I didn't see the pre-show.
The color scheme was it was very blue. It was very cold. The temperature was very cool. There was parts of it were overexposed.
I saw clips. It was the Andrade match
and Sheamus
and Shorty G, right? Yeah. I didn't.
The whole thing looked like that. Like the stills looked like a flash just happened to be going off. That's what the whole thing looked like.
It's horrible.
I don't know what was up with that.
And I don't know if Kevin Dunn forgot how to direct last night, but
some would say he never knew.
Yeah, fair. But my God, horrible. That edge spear. That's the first thing. That edge spear to Ziggler was horrible. But they cut to the audience 15 times in the middle of like these matches, and it's most of the time it's like, I don't care what Jose in the third row has the look on his face. I don't care. Show me the ring.
One thing I did like that they've done before. It's not the first time they did, but during the Bayley Lacey match, they had the right underneath the hero shot coming from outside of the apron, like down low. they went to that a little bit more than they normally do. And I actually kind of like that. I thought it was an interesting angle, like because Bayley was looking very imposing standing over Lacey. I thought it was an interesting shot choice, but I liked it. Again, more nerd production crap. Like I was just talking about the YouTube strategy. Now
Yeah.
So apparently that's going to be how things go. You're getting a lot of insider info that you probably may not know that you.
TJ Fritz, I never complain. What are you talking about?
Today has been the roast of WWE Reduction. Well, we've been praising the show.
Yeah, look, in all honesty, that was the major flaw in a very good show.
And Corbin Reigns, I mean, I didn't like the match. I'm not going to like that match, but I will say the two of them did better with that match than I expected.
I agree.
They exceeded expectations.
Yep.
But I don't like that kind of crap. I'm going to be the first. I don't like either of them, and I don't like that kind of crap. But I'll be the first one to admit they did better than I thought they were going to do.
I thought that as an opener, it was perfect. I thought that it was. I think that they gave a good out for Roman now to not win the Rumble. Hey, he had to go through this whole big match with Corbin.
I do think Roman deserves some praise here. Like, first, I will say, I said this on Friday, but I also said it. I texted this to Mike. I said, if they curtain jerk and Roman loses, he's winning the Rumble, and I'm going to throw up. And then when he won, if they curtain jerk, I'm like, here we go. Oh, they done did it again. And then he won. I'm like, oh. Huh. But the credit I have to give to Roman is, again, WWE does it better than most people, reeling the fans in and causing that emotional, visceral reaction and playing you like a fiddle. They turn smarks into marks like there's no tomorrow. They are better at it than just about anybody.
I guess MVP wasn't a one-off, huh?
I heard it's unclear yet, maybe.
He said he's on Raw.
He's on Raw, but he might be... I don't think he signed. Edge is signed.
Oh, no, Edge, 3 years. I mean, great. But, I mean, hey, even if MVP comes back for 6 months, I'm cool with that. Like, hey, let's just,
I mean, he's in good shape from last night. Yeah,
he looked good.
But I don't think he has a health reason why he stopped, unlike Edge.
He's facing Mysterio. I mean, that's cool.
Edge has a health reason why he doesn't, but apparently that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so what I'm trying to say...
See, Kurt, that's exactly the opinion I hate. Oh, it's easy to exceed expectations when everybody expected...
No, but that is true.
I disagree.
That's true.
I completely disagree about that. Why are you... If you expect a shit show, why are you watching it then?
No, look, no, most people skip that match. But I'm saying...
But I think... I don't know if you're just specifically talking about Roman and Baron, or if you're talking about the entire show.
That's what I think they were talking about.
Maybe.
I was talking about Baron Corbin, and that was the segue. We were specifically talking about that style. I don't like that style match, and I don't like either of those wrestlers. But I will admit, sometimes Falls Count Anywhere match can get me. Like Macho and Crush at WrestleMania 10, that was better than it should have been.
Yep.
Because
except the ending.
I don't like I really don't like wrestling. Other than occasionally, they spill out to the outside a little bit. For the most part, I don't like wrestling outside of a ring. I think it's dumb.
I like ECW usually did it the correct way in relegating one or two matches that we knew. All right, New Jack's gonna fight. New Jack's gonna go into the crowd. Cool.
Or Dustin Rhodes and a Blacktop Bully. Ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Right.
Sting and Cactus Jack fighting in a corral. I mean, that kind of stuff is stupid to me.
Right.
I just don't. It's backstage assault in real life.
Right. And I'm okay if look, Rusev is.
Where was Rusev and Bobby Lashley?
They took him out of the Rumble. They mentioned it before the Rumble. They said because of everything with the whole Lana and Liv situation and how that spilled out, they took them out of the Rumble.
I just assumed it was so they didn't want either of them being fed to Brock.
I think that's a part of it too. I also don't think that they wanted the Bobby Lashley Brock Lesnar showdown to happen in the Rumble. Right. I don't think Rusev mattered, because I think Rusev actually was in the ring when Brock was in the Rumble a couple years ago.
Originally, I said the same thing. I was like, sometimes ring rust doesn't heal all wounds. I mean, Albert says that it was AJ, like it was on AJ or both. I just like blaming Edge for stuff. So,
Edge is another guy that apparently Dave doesn't like. So send your hate mail to
version 1.
Look.
I'll never forget, buddy.
Listen,
I don't care if you're over it. I don't care if King Maxwell and all your happy family and you're in the past. It's still real to me, version 1. Still there.
Rebbe even commented last night on
Beth
care. And Edge's Twitter post.
Yeah.
Well, I think Rebbe cares. I think she's happy that it happened.
Yeah, let's talk about that though. Beth with the.
Yeah, what happened there? I still can't figure out.
Apparently, she I don't want to say oversold because that makes it seem like it's a bad thing. But when she was selling, she hit thrown into the corner. She hit her head against the post. That's what I heard.
Okay.
That's what I heard that people think is what happened. But it got bigger and bigger. The red spot. Becky Lynch wasn't the one with the reddest hair last night.
No.
And not only was it red, my friend said she's clearly hurt.
Yeah.
She's clearly not going to win. Why don't you just take her out right now?
Because she didn't want to, and more power to her.
But it's not only that the the blood got worse, but like if you looked at it, it was wet. It was like red and wet. Like that was a lot.
I kept mentioning that. I was like, man, it's
so
bad.
So bad. Like I couldn't believe that. Oh man.
Everybody's saying that you should get over it because Matt's happy.
Hydra-wise, it's Edge. Nope. Paul Heyman said that. Still
One of the best comments ever.
You mess around with your friend's girl. That is an all-time low thing to do.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
And I don't like that got him to the main event. That's ridiculous. I'm aware that Vince McMahon likes having skinny blonde guys who sleep around a bit too much and propelling them to the main event when they don't belong in it just because they have obnoxious, terrible behavior. I'm aware that Vince likes doing that.
Well, you rant
but
about
still,
Shawn Michaels again.
I was talking about Edge. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, sure you were.
But still, nonetheless. Was there a botch or something last night? I'm sure there are a bunch of them. Oh, and another thing that, what was I ranting about before this? There was something I was talking about. MVP's on Raw, come on. On the Fiend wrestling without the red light. I am very happy that there is no red light, Ben Espinosa.
Yeah, I've actually pointed that out. I still think it right. I say it right now. Obviously, I'm not the only person who thinks this. Bray Wyatt's the best thing in wrestling. Wrestling, not WWE. Wrestling. There's nothing that I can compare that character to, and I love every second of it. I love the idea that the Fiend is.
Yes, Raw the Reflex.
I love the fact that the Fiend is this guy who walks in this mask, and he's just an unstoppable, unbeatable monster. Just this absolute unbearable.
Except for that one pay-per-view with Seth.
Well, he didn't lose.
All right.
It was a no contest.
No, it wasn't. It was referee stop. He lost.
It was referee stoppage, but
that means you lost.
I think a referee stoppage is no contest.
No, that means you lost.
Anyway, Vinny Montana, not even close. And I love Moxley, not even close. There is nothing like the presentation of Bray Wyatt. That entrance, the gimmick, because Bray being Mr. Rogers 1 minute and then the next minute being the Fiend. I love everything about it.
Here's the difference: the title cannot change hands on a no contest. The title can change hands because of referee stoppage, a la Kevin Owens winning the NXT title from Sami Zayn. If the ref stops, Seth retained because Seth is the one who won. But a ref stopping it means you lost. And you can change the title.
All right, I'll give you that. All right, base up. I don't care that. I don't care that Bray Wyatt cheated on his wife. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm the person that can separate what people.
That's what he meant.
Why else would he be a garbage human being?
Because base up is a troll. What don't you understand about this? He's just targeting you instead of me for a change, and now I can laugh at it. He's using his powers for good instead of evil.
No, he's not. And no, absolutely not. Rather Reflex. Chris Jericho is my favorite wrestler of all time. Bray Wyatt's better. I don't care what anybody says. You're not convincing me. There's no way of convincing me that anybody right now in the wrestling business is better than Bray Wyatt. And
no, it's not Amigo Montoya. Again, Sami Zayn lost the NXT title to Kevin Owens because the referee stopped the match. It is not the same thing. You cannot change the title on a no contest. A no contest is a tie. Nobody won, and you cannot change the championship. A referee stop is the referee is declaring you the winner and that guy the loser. That is the difference. Face.
And and like somebody had mentioned before, they're like, oh, the Blue's Clues Bray Wyatt is embarrassing. No, it's not. It's the best part of the story. The best part of the story is that Bray Wyatt, the man, sits there and he's like, I've forgiven myself of all the bad things I've done except for this small piece of me. This small piece of me is going to... He's not?
Don't look at me. I didn't say it.
He's not degenerate? What color is his hair then?
Douchebag.
Maybe. And yes, Sith Lord, exactly. The only time I've ever heard a holy S chant for just an entrance. That's the thing. And again, see? Rather Reflex.
Kurt Wagner's on your side.
Better than Better than Husky Harris? See, that's the thing. He's not Husky Harris. He's not any of his old gimmicks. He's not the old Bray Wyatt. He's a completely different character. And I hate that. That's the thing that wrestling fans do the most. When Bray debuted as Bray Wyatt, Husky Harris. Oh, great. You knew who he used to be. Congratulations. You're so smart. You look like an idiot. That's the stupidest thing ever.
You know what? I apologize. While I say WWE reels people in like nobody else, based up respect where respect is due, you apparently are capable of hanging pretty good in that turf because they got you hook, line, and sinker, pal. I'll be right back. Right on.
People who don't wait, hold on. This is the good one. People who think Bray Wyatt is the best thing in wrestling don't watch New Japan. What is going on in New Japan that's better than Bray Wyatt? I'll wait. Thank you, EJK. They look dumb chanting at the entrance. It's the best entrance in wrestling. So, no, it doesn't look stupid.
If I was one of you guys and I really wanted to troll Albert, I would say Jay White right now just to get at him.
Oh, now I know it. You know.
Now, yeah, you can't do it now, but that's the move. You should have said Jay White. He would have lost his mind. You would have watched his head explode.
People get when someone who doesn't understand wrestling insults them when they see them watching Blue's Clues. I think it's okay. That's people who don't watch wrestling. Why do you care about anybody's opinion who doesn't watch the product? Their opinion doesn't make a difference.
Why do you care about anyone's opinion? Period.
That too.
I'm talking to you.
No,
like you realize that, right?
Because some people's opinions are wrong. Okay.
Too late now, based on nice try. You should, if you bang that.
Really? Right. Completely stupid.
You're pretty funny too, there, Jay.
And Naito is nowhere near as cool as Bray Wyatt. Bullshit. I call complete bullshit. EJK, if you ever say anything positive about Joey Janela again in this chat, we can't be friends anymore. I'm sorry. No.
Uncle Crow starting a Husky Harris chant.
Whatever. Look, I get it now. Everybody's just trying to get under my skin.
Now?
But it is
now. They've been.
It is what it is.
They started this, and everyone just jumped on in.
Well, now I know Baseup's just. I'm just gonna ignore him now because I know what he's trying to do.
He'll get you again. He does that. He's a wascally wabbit. He does this. He gets you.
And MJF is again not better.
Old
MJF was good. AEW MJF sucks.
Now he's gonna put you in a lull, say like intelligent things for a little while, and then when your guard is down, then he's gonna say something dumb again, and then Arthur's gonna say, "Yeah, I agree with that lie," and then you will be back at square one. I know. I've done this dance. I know your moves. I know your strategy, kid.
And Darnell Anderson, I agree. A lot of people have been complaining about that, and I'll give you that I'll give you that in a way. But Bray's presentation is to not put on a 5-star match. And this is exactly why I'm wearing this shirt today, which is perfect, because this is exactly the culture that wrestling fans have gotten into. This Dave Meltzer.
Luchador's got a good point. MJF.
And I brought that up.
Okay.
Old school MJF, great. AEW MJF, up until maybe like the past 3 weeks.
Dave knows tactics. That's right there, AJ Envoy.
His hair is not mostly brown. His hair is blonde.
I can't believe we're having this debate. Who cares? Vinny Montana is surprisingly more on your side. I want to know where Arthur's chiming in, unless he left.
No, Arthur's been trying to get on me about it too.
Oh.
Yeah. No, me and Vinny are cool. Vinny
no, but Albert's normally the guy who's on your side about everything.
Arthur?
Yeah.
No, he's not. Actually, usually Base-Up is. This is the first time Base-Up's ever really...
No, Base-Up normally is too with the Vince Russo stuff, but I'm just saying Arthur is like...
No, actually about most things me and Base-Up agree.
No, but Arthur also is normally just in and of himself, is normally on your side about things. Kenta, you WWE mark, wow. This is getting hot today. Roman Reigns defeats the Fiend. Yeah, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
But then again, they might be working you, like they worked you in the Rumble. Oh, and that's what I didn't get to say. There is a little bit of congratulations on Roman Reigns. I think he took a bit of a sacrifice on this one, so I think we got to give him props for it. Who knows? Maybe at WrestleMania I'm going to take this back. But remember, they played you like a fiddle. Roman had you to the end, believing that it was going to be him again. Drew, like, they totally nuked you for it. They did the same thing with Nakamura. They kept Roman in towards the end, and everyone's like, oh, crap, here it comes, and I'm going to lose my mind. And then, no, he bites the bullet. But the biggest bullet I think he bit last night was somebody had to be the one to eliminate Edge. Who was the one who fell in the sword in the finals and said, I'll let it be me.
Yep, they hate me anyway.
I'll eat it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Give him credit. He got booed. He hadn't gotten booed in a really long time.
Yeah, and this is the first time he got it, and I said,
and he was going to. And anybody who eliminated Edge was going to get heat.
And I turned to my friends during the Rumble, and I went, I told you.
Yeah.
Because I said it from the beginning. I said Roman's going to get booed when he comes out for the Rumble. Like, but everybody, I get it. Everybody forgave everything because of the whole cancer thing. But I said the second he sniffs a main event push, everybody's going to turn their back on him again.
But they really didn't. He was still getting cheered on SmackDown. Like, he wasn't getting booed Friday.
Yeah, but Rumble was the barometer.
Anybody who gets...
Wait until he goes up against The Fiend.
I'm just trying to say, well, of course they're good. But that's not because of Rumble. It's just because they like The Fiend more. Case in point. But
okay, I'll give you that.
But my thing was...
Bryan got cheered heavy against The Fiend last night.
Daniel Bryan.
Even still.
That's not fair. That's
all right.
Daniel Bryan.
All right, I'll give you that.
My thing is, whoever eliminated... Now, Orton could have conceivably eliminated Edge and it would have been okay, but that would have probably not really that would have shifted the momentum in the wrong way for their eventual Mania feud.
Right.
You don't want Orton having too much footing. You want Edge to have a little more footing.
Yes, I agree.
Orton could have done it, but Roman really was the best choice. And so I think commendable. Again, you got to be commendable. Roman ate a lot of the heat for that. After Brock was gone, someone had to eat most of the heat for the rest of the Rumble, and there was two major things that you were going to get heat for, and Roman was man enough to step up to the plate and take it on the chin. And you know what? Like I said, got to give him props for that.
Again, Nick Aldis, not as cool as Bray Wyatt.
And I give it to Eli Drake over Nick Aldis.
And that deal, and the deal 79, the mask changes everything about the presentation. It's completely different.
Yeah,
so,
raw reflex. You tell him.
And once again, the Fiend's in-ring work is not supposed to be good. You're not supposed to
get bad.
I don't think it's bad either, but it's not supposed to be a 5-star classic. He's supposed to just get cracked in the face, and everybody thinks he's out, and he's supposed to pop right back up. That's the whole idea.
I did not, Arthur Pryor. That is not what I said at all. How do you pull that out? Oh, now he's working me. You see, Arthur felt bad, like everyone's dogpiling you, so now he shifted him over to me. That is not what I just said.
Thank you, Arthur.
That is not
You're
what I just
100%
said
right.
at all. At freaking all. I hate the Fiend belt. That's fair. I do too.
I like it because I like the presentation of the Fiend is that he has something. He's not Bray Wyatt. Everything about him is different than Bray Wyatt.
I just don't like the design. I don't mind if they gave him a custom belt, but just that one, and. Well, we've had custom champions before. It's worth noting he's the first to get a customized Universal title.
Yeah, it is. It's very true.
And he also changed it from red to blue. So it's like he's kind of had two title changes. So it's no big deal. I'm just something to mention. And I don't think it's an accident that because he's top merch seller, that was one of their rewards. Because they tend to do that. I mean, granted, they didn't do anything for Roman Reigns, but still, they tend to do that when you sell a lot of merch, give you a custom title.
Yeah.
Ask Austin. Or, if you're The Rock, they give you a secret one that no one ever sees. Yeah, the $6,000 belt.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Custom handmade. But it's selling.
Yeah, I know. The belt may be trash, but people are buying into it. And look, that's the thing. The belt doesn't have to be good. The idea behind The Fiend is the idea that he is like this unstoppable monster that gets sent out. He's like the final boss.
Mr. J.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like the final boss in a video game. It's Bray Wyatt pulling the strings, but the Fiend is the final boss. Like, you have to get to Bray Wyatt. You want to kill the main bad guy. You have to get through the guy that he's sending out. That's his Terminator.
Wow.
Bray Wyatt, the Fiend is the Terminator.
All right, base up. All right, I see where you're going with this.
What? I'm not even gonna get into it.
I work for Capital. He doesn't. So, but nice try, base up.
Yeah, exactly.
That is not what I said, Arthur.
And Harry, yeah, Brock may be the final boss in WWE world, but in the Bray Wyatt iteration, he's
the final boss on the SmackDown game.
Yeah, there you go. He's the final boss on the SmackDown
That is
side.
not what I said at all. I said Daniel Bryan can get over. It's very different things. I was talking about He's getting me. But you know what? I'm not falling for your crap, Arthur.
But yeah.
I'm not falling for your ugly game. Your Justina Valentine game.
Stop. Now, all right, so now Raw the Reflex is trolling too because
He's been the whole time.
Now there's no way that anybody could ever think that that's the case.
See, I have a mostly troll-free zone. There's 2.5, but you're bringing out people. You bring out the worst in people. I want you to know that.
You know what?
Shut up, Arthur.
You know what? Good. I'm glad because I like to be the differentiation in everybody's.
That's not differentiation. That's breeding trolls. You're a troll breeder.
Well, if people weren't stupid and being trolls, then there would be anything like that.
If you didn't fall for it, we wouldn't have trolls.
Doesn't make a difference.
You're making entertaining for them, so they're doing to get a rise out of you because you are playing into it.
Doesn't make a difference.
You're feeding the trolls.
By the way, Roman Reigns should have won the Royal Rumble last night. Just throwing that out there.
See, now he's trolling you.
No.
He's triple stamping a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You
No.
can't triple stamp a double stamp.
I'm really serious.
That's stupid talk.
How it... Look,
Straight up stupid talk. I agree.
The man hasn't had a world title shot since he's been back. It's been over a year. He's due.
No, he's
not.
not.
The face of the company. He's due.
No, he is not.
Yes, he is. He's the face of the company. With the exception of Becky Lynch, fine. He's the male face of the company. And he should have won the Rumble. Straight up, he should have won the Rumble.
You see what all of you done.
And I love Drew McIntyre, and I'm glad McIntyre got it. I
yeah.
really am so happy because he deserved it. You can ask my friend. My friend texted me after what's it called? Drew won the Rumble, and he was like, "This makes me remember the first pay-per-view we went to when with Drew McIntyre on it, and you said he's going to be the world champion one day. This is my guy." And I said it since the beginning. I've always liked Drew McIntyre.
Casey, whoa. Don't punish my channel for what he's saying. I don't think that crap. That's him. And he's just saying that to get at you.
Oh, whoa. What do you mean he doesn't need another Rumble win? You mean overcoming cancer is less than overcoming 30 men in a match? No, he deserves everything. The man had cancer and came back to wrestling. Has there ever been anybody else who has done that?
You see, and now his tactic here is to go for the cheap pop there.
Am I wrong?
It's like he's just got to be John Cena paraded around a little.
Am I wrong?
One has nothing to do with the other.
Has a lot to do with it.
Not really.
And that's the other thing, Uncle Krog. Why would he have gotten booed out of Houston? Why would you...
Yeah, he wouldn't have gotten beat. It's not Philly, all right?
Why would you boo a man who came back to something after having something that could have killed him?
You gotta lay off of it. You're laying it on her pretty thick here.
Am I wrong?
Okay.
And exactly. The record of four second place victories in the Royal Rumble. Dude deserves it. Thank you, Ben Espinoza. Appreciate that somebody agrees with me.
You got to read EKJ?
What? What did I miss? Juice and Thunder Liger? Okay. What about him? How long do we give him slack because of cancer? For the rest of his life, he had cancer. It's the same thing. Actually, I take it back. You know who else had cancer and it goes under the radar and came back and started and wrestled after that? Zack Ryder had cancer.
There you go.
And he deserves more of a push.
So he should have won the Rumble.
He wasn't in it.
And how come he wasn't just fodder for Brock? Was that too obvious?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think. I mean, it's Roman getting booed. The Edge thing is. If he didn't touch, I also knew when it came down to 3, whoever eliminated Edge was probably not going to win. Because again, it's WWE logic.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with that.
Yeah, see, EJK's mentioning other people.
Okay, that's fair.
Don't hear you toting about them.
I am one of the biggest Kenta fans in the world. Get out of here.
But you're not saying you're not.
And I think Kenta should be the New Japan. I'd rather have Kenta as the New Japan Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion right now than I would. What's his name? Friggin'.
No, you said name someone else. He's been naming people.
And that's fair.
So he's putting you in your place.
That's fair. No, I agree with him. Oh, Kenta Kobashi. I was going to say if it was actual Kenta. Oh, Kenta. I did not know Kenta Kobashi had
he's been
cancer, and he was like, how many times did he win the world title? So he got it.
No. Talking about winning the Rumble.
Then Kenta Kobashi should win the Rumble.
That's what he. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll give it to you. And no, you give him 1 year, but that's it. You can't put the.
Are you working yourself into a shoot?
No, absolutely not.
One thing has nothing to do with the other. Roman's had his time on top. it's okay to move on to someone new. All right.
And they have for a full year.
Then move on to someone else. This is kind of how wrestling
They
works.
did. Drew McIntyre won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and you're saying that shouldn't have happened.
It shouldn't have happened. I'm still convinced of it.
Roman never needs to go back to the top again. If he does, it's one thing. I'm not saying that he's not going to. I'm just saying he doesn't need to. It's like he had his turn in the barrel. It's a very simple formula.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan sucked though. He doesn't count.
Yeah, there you go. He's someone else. It's a very short.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He sucks.
Oh, but see, but
he sucks. There's a difference.
See, they're letting you prove yourself wrong and argue against yourself.
No,
right now.
that's fine.
They're letting you undo your own argument for you. And because their obvious reaction is going to be, well, Roman Reigns sucks. Like, you're teeing them up to give it to you.
But they're wrong.
See, if you're going to step up your live stream game, you're going to have to know how this works. I'm telling you right now, you can't. They're giving you just enough rope to hang yourself.
That's fine. Luchador, we're over this. You're wrong, and that's it. Then that's the end of it. I mean, you don't have to keep trying to name people that you think are better than the Fiend because they're it's like, okay. Nowhere near an Undertaker reboot. And so anything that has there's not even anything gothic about the character. He's just a demon. He's just a monster. There's nothing like it's not. He's not back from the dead. He's not a zombie. He's not a dead man. He's just a monster.
Yeah, he's a reboot of Finn Balor. Or should I say a rip-off of Finn Balor?
Not really a rip-off. It's closer to Finn Balor than it is Undertaker.
Gimmick infringement.
Nah, definitely not.
Anyway, what was I going to talk about? So,
stop overrating Hacksaw Jim Duggan Raw the Reflex. It's not even funny. He was a horrible, horrible worker. One of the worst in the history of wrestling. I am the best thing that ever happened was him getting pulled over with cocaine in his possession because we actually might have had to see him wrestle at the top for a really long time because after that.
No, we won't.
Thank God. They had huge plans for a huge push for him until he got pulled over.
It wouldn't have lasted.
Thank God. He's not demonically possessed. He's not possessed at all. He's just a secondary part. The same thing as Finn Balor. The demon isn't an actual demon.
Okay, the Blonde Taraj are better than the Fiend. Oh, well, that's a solid argument. Alexa Bliss is better than the Fiend.
Alexa Bliss is way prettier than the Fiend.
Thank you so much, Casey. It's Roman for $2 Super Chat. I'll give you $2 if you say Roman Reigns sucks. Roman Reigns sucks.
Knock yourself off. None of the
Roman Reigns sucks. I'll give you that one for free.
None of the money that goes that gets donated here goes to me, so I will never ever do that.
I'm very much big on multiple ideas, multiple reasonings. I'm just pointing out my praise for Roman from last night was that someone had to eat it on the chin. Who's gonna be the bad guy to eliminate Edge, and he took it. I think you deserve to give credit where credit's due on that one. Because someone was going to get heat for it, and he voluntarily took that. That's what I give him credit for. And the struggles in his real life are horrendous. Coming back from it is a very positive thing. But that doesn't negate, I personally don't love when real life affairs blend with professional wrestling in general. The Matt Lita Edge storyline that we were just talking about.
You just said that you hated Edge forever for that.
Yeah, I don't like them bringing it up on air. I don't like them incorporating that stuff in storyline. I don't particularly care for it. Jimmy J, pretty much the existence of Total Divas, but yeah, them bringing up if they want to acknowledge them, Seth and Becky is one for sure. If they want to acknowledge that Jimmy and Naomi are married, sure, but that storyline with Mandy Rose, terrible.
What, with Otis?
No, Mandy Rose.
Oh, no, that was the dumbest thing.
Yeah, it's like I just typically don't like the real life thing involved in it. It's like I'm not saying you shouldn't talk about it. I'm not saying it's anything to be ashamed, anything to just like never bring up. But it shouldn't be used as a storyline. And I'm not saying they are using Roman's real life as a storyline because they're really not.
They really aren't.
I'm not saying that.
They really aren't.
But my point is one does not beget the other because there's some things that are awesome or bad or tragic in real life that don't necessarily need to be put into professional wrestling. Here's an example. And I'm not trying to say on the negative side. So really listen to this one. He wasn't employed at the time, but Chris Masters ripped out a tree out of the ground to save his mother from her house that was on fire.
Yes, he did.
If he was in WWE, you might feel the need to turn him babyface at that time and make him a superhero, and I wouldn't mind it per se, but Chris Masters was the narcissist.
Yeah.
He was the egomaniac.
Yeah.
You don't own, maybe sometimes the only reason I think it's okay is when the overwhelming momentum for the press demands you have to do something about it. And if that's the case, fine. I get it. But for the most part, I don't think one should beget the other. I think you could just kind of let it go and let it be what it be. It's Harry Flynn. It's people who came back and wrestled afterwards. You're missing that second part.
Yes. I think that the Rollins and the Corbin stables need, like, I hate that
Corbin doesn't need a stable. This is ridiculous.
It doesn't need it, but they're doing it.
If
but I
they're
think
going to do the Corbin stable, with King of the Ring gimmick,
it needs a name.
Well, no, if Corbin's going to do, first of all, like, didn't they turn on each other and hate each other? But secondly, if Corbin's going to rock the King, if Corbin's going to rock the King gimmick, you're allowed to have a crony group, but they better follow suit with the gimmick. And no, thank you, Bobby Roode or Dolph Ziggler becoming like the Jester and the Knight. No. It's okay if he takes some lackeys. You know what? I don't like them being used this way, but I wouldn't be necessarily opposed to Baron Corbin inheriting the Singh brothers.
You know who would have been perfect for it?
Yeah.
To repackage the Ascension to be his cronies.
Don't say it.
No, but like just to repackage him completely and just make him like the heavies.
Harry Flynn came back full time. Come on, Harry. You know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you're grasping at straws here.
Keith Lee greater than Fiend. Okay.
Not even.
Now look, I like the Fiend character. I do, but I do have several. But to balance this out, I do have several built-in problems with the gimmick. However, they have been addressing it. I don't think it's something that has legs that can go on for a very long time. I think it has limited shelf life. However, they are doing a remarkable job of keeping it fresh. Having Bray substitute for the Fiend against the Miz was brilliant.
It was the smartest thing they could have done. Yeah.
I think they could have probably eked it out for another pay-per-view if they really wanted to, but it's fine that they did that.
Yeah, but you needed the Fiend on the big show.
The idea of
like if next pay-per-view if the Fiend has a random title defense against somebody, it should be Bray Wyatt.
And then also on top of that, having Ramblin' Rabbit introduce the idea of a weakness.
Yes.
They've been doing things to keep it fresh. Not gonna lie, they've been very smart about it. But just in and of itself, it's a gimmick that might be like, okay, now what? And we've seen this with champions, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch. People have been saying like, okay, great, now what? Okay, they got the title, now what? Bray's been doing a very good job of keeping it flowing, keeping it changing, keeping you on. So while
I agree.
He potentially has the most limited career because there's only so many things you can do with a monster. He's finding new ways to do things. Where Seth Rollins is just an athlete, you think the possibilities and stories you could tell with him would be infinite, but somehow they couldn't figure anything out. Oh, and going back to that earlier thing about how they failed Seth Rollins with the booking, my biggest one is the result with that match with Baron Corbin, where Corbin got screwed. He didn't really lose. He got cheated out of it. Why do you have the champion get screwed? Yeah. It's just stupid booking.
No, I'll agree with that one. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
you're
Corbin
right.
was booked.
You're right.
Corbin was right in booking, in that context, and only that context. Make that clear.
And the deal, the Fiend is solely a gimmick. Everything in wrestling is solely a gimmick. You think Hulk Hogan really went home and trained and said his prayers and took his vitamins every day? No, he did. He just banged other.
Oh, not every day.
Right, but he just banged his friends' wives.
He didn't do that till later.
I don't care.
That was something else I wanted to happen.
Count it if it goes.
Something else I wanted to happen. I wanted Edge to use the RKO and then Orton just look at him and then grab Beth Phoenix and kiss her and go, all right, you steal my gimmick, I'll steal yours.
That would have been horrible, but
it would have made no sense when I was like, yeah, two can play at that game, Edge. Like, I knew it wasn't gonna happen, but I would have loved it. I was like, thought we were friends. You're gonna go like that? All right.
We ain't friends no more. But that's what if that's your detraction about the Fiend is just a gimmick, everything in wrestling is a gimmick.
I know. I never understood that. It was the same thing about the Dean Ambrose leaving is so obviously a work. I was like, first of all, everything in wrestling is a work. Why do you think it's obvious? Why is obvious bad thing? And second of all, like, The Undertaker is obviously a work. You know that's not real, but no one complains about that. So something being obviously a work I think is weird that people complain about. And as we know, it clearly wasn't a work. Unless you're one of those nuts who swear up and down it is. That Cody is really in league with McMahon and this is all a sham.
Vince Russo thinks
there are people who think that.
Vince Russo thinks it.
Yeah, and Vince Russo's an idiot, so there you go.
EJK, of course I like the Sandman.
Did you hear Kurt Angle give a very positive
ever.
interview discussion about Vince Russo?
I did not. I just, really quick, I do want to hear what you have to say.
I'm sure you do.
Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels were both very much gimmicks. Bret to a lesser extent than Shawn, but Shawn
Yeah, Shawn Michaels played a good guy, and he's clearly a terrible person.
And the difference is that Shawn lived his gimmick. That's a difference. That's the difference of them saying, "Hey, we want you to be this cool, guy who like all the girls love." So he went out and just banged everybody he could, and just took a bunch of pills. Completely different of living your gimmick.
Whoa, the pill part wasn't part of the gimmick. Easy.
Was it? I thought it was.
And EKJ, I know you're asking.
The Rockers were definitely supposed to be on pills.
I know I know you're asking him a question, but it really sounds like you're teeing him up for the Goodwill Hunting. Do you like Sandman? How do you like that, Sandman? Like, I feel like that's coming. It can't be, because I can't think of any way for you to get out of this. But still, Harry, yes. Wrestling trivia time. What is Christian's last Royal Rumble match?
The last one he competed in.
Good.
Thank you. That would save the Fiend for me. Have a guy as the Fiend have a match against Bray, same size and movement. That doesn't.
Yeah, having like the 2 Kane, 2 Undertaker thing.
That would actually be like the death of the gimmick.
Yeah, it'd be awesome if it was Samoa Joe.
Even still, that's the death of the gimmick.
Yeah, I don't think you need. I don't mind the two on the same guy going against each other. I like that mirror match stuff. I know everybody hates it, so I don't bother. But when I was a kid, that 2 Undertakers was amazing.
It was the coolest thing ever.
I rewatched it a couple of years ago. It is muy terrible.
I completely agree.
But as a child, it was amazing.
Exactly, and that's the thing. With the 2 Canes, as soon as that happened, I went, we're doing this now.
I didn't mind it.
I just like that Luke. I just like that Luke Gallows got to do a little bit of something.
I was okay with it. Are you guys going to watch Raw later?
I watch Raw. Yeah, I usually get home, fold my laundry on Mondays. Usually when I get home, I actually have to cook tonight and meal prep, so I'll probably watch Raw while I'm doing that.
Yeah, I haven't watched Raw in months. I've given up. I tried SmackDown a little bit a couple of weeks ago. I don't feel I missed anything, but
I'm admittedly behind on everything that isn't Raw.
I might watch Raw because of Tom Phillips, because I actually like Phillips a lot. He's back now, so that's good.
Yeah, that is a good thing because he's a lot better.
Yeah. I like him. I thought it was unfair that he got shafted. Why would I watch the show, Paul?
And EJK, it isn't about
what happened to make a difference. Fatu. I mean Ali.
Yeah, what happened to him?
I wonder that too.
He wasn't even in the Rumble, right?
And he would have been perfect fodder for Brock.
Yeah, absolutely. EJK, it's not about Heyman booking.
But also,
the Sandman is completely different than Joey Janela. The Sandman has never put himself in this position where he said he's he's ever said he was great. The Sandman
I don't like that you made that comparison.
Yeah, that actually
hurts my feelings.
That insults that insults me. Joey Janela is nowhere near.
No, I don't
Sandman.
hate Joey Janela as much as you do. Like,
no, I hate Joey Janela with a passion.
I know you do. I don't particularly care for him. He's not he's not my style. He's not my style of wrestler.
Yeah, 100% same here.
I'm not going to like him.
And look, while I said I liked the Sandman wasn't my favorite wrestler in ECW. I enjoyed his entrance music.
The difference is Sandman knows what he is.
Right. And never claimed to be any more than that.
And Joey Janela, or more so his fans, put him at a higher pedestal than you think he belongs.
Right.
I agree with that. It's like Sandman knew what he was. And yeah. I mean, the guy suplexes a table for crying out loud. He clearly doesn't view himself as a technical wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. But I still have no idea how Joey Janela landed for a time because it's not happening anymore. How he landed Penelope Ford doesn't make any sense to me. She's way out of his league, both in the ring and looks wise.
Casey is Raw. I admit I have a Nintendo Switch, but I don't have a lot of games for it.
I started playing Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it so far. It's been pretty good. But I'm a Smash guy.
It doesn't look good.
It's enjoyable. It's nothing. The Ultimate Alliance games are never great. It's just something to pass the time.
I love the first one. I bought the first one over and over and over again, not necessarily on purpose. I bought the first one on Game Boy Advance. I bought it on PlayStation 2. I got it again with my Xbox 360, and I bought it for a friend.
Wow.
I bought that game like a bajillion times.
I like the first one.
There's a good chance I have copies I don't know about. Like if you just check underneath my pillow or in the cracks of my couch, you'll find a copy of Marvel Ultimate Alliance somewhere.
I was a huge fan of X-Men Legends when that came out, and then that was the same game. It just with more characters, really.
Comic book time. For me, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think X-Men Legends is when Apocalypse became a really big deal. Like, he was always a big deal.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
But he was, like, beatable. He wasn't, he would go, like, he was a bad guy. Yeah, he'd always come back, but he wasn't, like, upper echelon bad guy. He was, like, Magneto-level bad guy.
Right.
But like, after X-Men Legends, they pumped him out to be, it's like, oh, no, Apocalypse coming, run for the hills. And it's like, oh, all right. I was like, all right, I buy it. And then all of a sudden he got put on a higher stratosphere.
Yeah, that was actually really right around that time period.
The game is what did it to him.
Those games were great. So great.
Simon won't happen. Harry. Of course it's not going to happen. I say this all the time. Look at Simon Miller. He would rip through me.
I'd take him on. How much money are we talking about? I'm getting paid for it, though.
Oh, well, yeah, that matters.
Yeah, that absolutely matters to me. I'll take a beating for a while.
It's like wrestling YouTube is a big community, but yeah, there's certain people that I don't particularly care for their style or
There's a lot of people like in the wrestling world that I hate. I'm wearing a shirt that preaches it, and on the other end of it, there's a lot of guys that
But it doesn't mean I want to fight them. I feel like you would fight Dave Meltzer.
I would 100% get into a fist fight with Dave Meltzer.
Like, I've been on the same video with Simon Miller. Me and him been on,
Yeah.
I have no problem. I have no personal problem with him. I just don't particularly care for certain things thereof. And, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. Maybe it's the reason why my subscribers are grow base. Maybe I should shut up and play the game a little bit better.
Uncle Krog, I actually like Luchasaurus. I actually like him a lot better under this incarnation of him than what he was trying to do on the indies of just being generic big guy, with some sort of like demonic gimmick. I hate that crap.
Who are we talking about?
Luchasaurus.
Oh, yes.
Before he became Luchasaurus, that he was Judas Messias 2.0, who is the
we've seen that a million times.
It's just you're a big guy, you have to kind of be the Undertaker. No.
Blompy versus Harry Flint at WrestleMania 36. Wow, man, that's cold. What's your beef with Blompy? Did he say something about Nikki Bella that I don't know about? Guys, I shouldn't have done that. I just thought about how Sandman did dangerous stunts. Always. No, it's a different thing. It's a completely different thing.
I
get you why you brought it up.
And the other thing is that the dangerous stunt thing, Janela takes that to a far too high of a thing for me to ever like it. To me,
that doesn't bother me.
No,
I don't like that style of wrestling.
There's a distinction to me between hardcore wrestling and garbage wrestling. Hardcore wrestling is done well when it's done right. Garbage wrestling is everything that everybody tries to do and goes overboard, and it's not wrestling anymore. Because the idea of professional wrestling is to do something to your opponent that looks like it hurts, but it really doesn't.
Right.
Deathmatch wrestling.
That really hurts.
Garbage wrestling. That really hurts. That's stupid.
And you act like it doesn't. That's the dumb
part.
Right.
It doesn't make. There's no logic to it. It's not wrestling.
And I hear your point.
And look, if you guys like that, cool. That's more power to you. But to me, that's garbage.
And even companies like CZW has been moving away from it. They're not really doing that kind of stuff anymore. It's like you kind of move away from it.
You have to. And while ECW did the same thing in the beginning, they were this extreme hardcore thing.
My number one complaint is that people who just think that's all it is.
Exactly.
Don't pay attention.
Yeah.
And my other complaint is people who just don't get it. When it comes to hardcore wrestling, ECW said hardcore wrestling. Hardcore didn't mean weapons and blood and all that stuff. It meant a hardcore dedication to their fan base.
Yep.
And not saying it doesn't mean that, because part of the hardcore dedication to their fan base is I'm willing to bleed for you. I care so much, I'm willing to do this for you.
Right.
And there's a difference between I'm going to do this to entertain you, I'm going to donate my body towards the audience, versus I want attention or I've got an ego thing, so I'm going to do these crazy stuff. There is a difference, and that's it.
Right. Harry, if that's the case, that Liv Morgan's dating Mojo Rawley,
we already know she has no taste.
She has zero taste in her life. Hold on. She dated Tyler Bate. I'll give her that. That's as far as I'll go. That's the only talented thing she's had in her. That's the only talent she's had in her.
But she could call me, and then we solve that problem.
Look, this is one thing that I know you'll agree with me on. Liv Morgan, very nice to look at. There's nothing else of substance to her.
They made stars out of less.
100%, but
who substituted for Sasha Banks last night at the Rumble? Is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know what's something else that I'm upset about, though? Now that we got bringing back to Bayley, we got Dark Bayley now, and it's fine. But unfortunately, I really don't think we're ever going to get. I mean, I didn't think we were getting it anyway. But this dream match, which I've seemed to be one of the few people who wanted this, I wanted Bayley and Molly Holly, sweet apple pie eating Molly Holly. Now we got evil Bayley. That's not the same.
Yeah.
I wanted goody Molly Holly, which she's only got. I mean, who knows how many years she's got left. I need Hugger to come back in order for that fight to matter.
I'm with that.
That's like if Sting came back as Surfer Sting and then they give you the Undertaker. Well, like nobody wanted that.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I want Hunter Bayley and sweet apple pie eating Molly Holly. That's my match I want.
I'm just going to put this out there. The Deal 79, he has no idea about anything. If you think Liv Morgan was good at any point during her career, you're crazy.
She was good. No, see. Who's a better wrestler? Straight up just talking about wrestling.
Sure.
Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss.
Really?
100%.
In NXT.
Yeah. Also, well.
No.
All right.
Now you're wrong.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Here's the concession. Alexa wasn't used as a wrestler a lot in NXT.
Not the point. The point of
it's hard. It's
her
hard.
Ring work is gotten a lot better.
Her ring work was even better then in NXT than Liv's ever was.
I'm sorry.
Liv was never good in the ring. She's always been botchy. She's always been a half a step off. Alexa.
Nobody said good.
Alexa's never been botchy. Hold on. Alexa's never been botchy, and she's never looked a half a step off. She always looked like she belonged. Liv looks like she was a pretty girl who just said, "Hey, maybe I'll try wrestling."
I will give you that Liv was a little more botchy, but she takes bigger chances. She does more. She does extend herself more. Her in-ring game is definitely more extended.
I completely disagree.
Than in NXT. NXT, the Sparkle Princess, the Frozen gimmick, Alexa was very safe by the book, and I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not
right. And then she turned heel.
I like that she does. I liked that.
Thank you, AJ. Thank you.
Wait, hold on. Who said?
He just said Liv is super overrated. She is.
And I get it. I'm not defending her ring work, but I'm just like to point out that they've done more with less. I don't know where this huge comeuppance of people demanding that Liv Tyler's been like overdue.
You mean Liv Morgan? Liv Tyler is the daughter of Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Oh, who are we talking about? Yeah, no. Yeah, she's overdue. Liv Tyler has never gotten a WWE championship in decades. It's ridiculous. Liv Tyler has been on TV since the 90s. How many WWF belts has she won? None.
Yeah, I know.
She's overdue.
So overdue.
So overdue.
But
she's a second-generation superstar.
But that's the thing. There was never any. Look, she has never cut a convincing promo.
I like her. They've done more with less. See here, and I get into this with Steve a lot. A lot of people. There are two types of. People look at some people when it comes to Liv Morgan specifically. I feel like people tend to look at the situation one way or the other, and I'm definitely, again, no surprise here, looking at it from See,
Casey, I'm totally okay with that because Dave says the same thing about Alexa, and he'll admit the same thing about Liv. Yes, you both think that they're attractive. That's fine, yeah. And that's great. If you look, same thing. I thought Eva Marie was gorgeous.
She was.
She should have never came near a title, though. She was not overdue.
I was the guy in the audience when people were chanting, "You can't wrestle" for Eva Marie, and then other people were chanting, "She's still hot." I just did both.
There you go.
I just chanted both because I'm like, both of you guys are right. Switzerland time for me.
See, there's another thing. You know what I like? What I like about Mandy Rose? Everybody admits Mandy Rose is beautiful. No one's ever complimented her on her ring work. Because it's not good. The same thing as Liv Morgan. Give me one thing she did that she was good at besides sticking out her tongue when she rode on Sarah Logan's back. That's it.
I'm sold.
There was nothing of substance she's ever done. I don't understand what this whole big thing is. What?
I was going to say, the promo thing, I 100% agree with you on. No. She's another one that's rough on the mic. I do think, because there's certain people, detractors of her. Well, I don't think she's good in the ring. I think people are a little too harsh. She took the face kicking from Brie like a champ, and she wanted to go. She has heart.
Oh, no. I'm not disagreeing with that. That's fine. So does Dana Brooke. I also don't think she's super talented in the ring either.
I don't either, but I do think...
I appreciate that she's got heart.
As I said earlier, Dana Brooke could be utilized better. I'm not saying I need Liv to be champion tomorrow.
You aren't. A lot of other people are, though.
But, let me get to it, because, again, it's like a divisive thing, but it's never as simple as black or white. I don't think Liv is as bad as, like, the detractors of her say. Yeah, she's fundamental, but she also... does try. She's kind of pulled back a little bit since getting hurt, but she does try to go a little bit above. She's got a good speed on her. She's pretty agile. She has, and again, they've done more with less. And not to go for the cheap shot here, but I might have to. Better in the ring, Liv Morgan or Hulk Hogan?
Oh, Liv Morgan, 100%.
Not to go for the cheap shot, but I'm just trying to say, in ring work. you could do more with it. Pretty girl willing to take. Pretty girl
in ring work, sure.
Pretty girl.
Hogan cut a great promo.
Pretty girl.
He had a great persona.
Pretty girl willing to take a beating, have a lot of heart.
Sure, no, she should be. I'm not saying. Look, and
she should be better utilized.
Base up, you're 100% right. She's lucky she's even being used right now. I agree.
Nah.
I agree. She's good. And somebody else brought up, I think it may be, there you go, Casey is Raw. Yes, I think that Liv Morgan is the perfect, idea. And that's what they're doing with Lana. Lana doesn't wrestle all the time. Put her on, she's pretty. Yeah, she's not talented in the ring. Put her on the outside and let her be a manager. That's fine. It's okay.
Because the detractors put her on that Lana level. She is way better than Lana in the ring.
Sure, she's better in the ring than Lana. But me and you are better in the ring than Lana, and we've never been trained. That's not much.
I don't know about you, maybe me, but
I've actually been in a ring before.
Braun is not the worst in the ring. That is ridiculous.
No, that's all right. So we know that he has no idea what he's talking about.
I have
so
been in a ring too in a professional context. You did it as a fan. I did it as a performer.
Hey, you're right. I still think I could work a better match than you.
I was a title holder. I was holding the championship and presented it. But
here's my thing. She came back. She got this gimmick, and she's on TV every week. She's being featured. She's got something. The people that thought that she should have been Sister Abigail are morons.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Look, Sister Abigail has been in existence way longer than Liv Morgan's been on the WWE roster. It would make no sense. There's no reason why she should even come any. Tell me who's worse than Braun in the WWE ring.
I'll start with Otis.
Okay, Lana. And there's another one. Let's keep it going. Who's worse than him? Baron Corbin's a worse wrestler than Braun Strowman.
Absolutely. Roman Reigns is a worse wrestler than Braun Strowman.
They're about on the same level for me.
No.
They're about on the same level.
And something else I was minorly upset about, Eric Rowan kind of getting punked out. Not for nothing.
Eric Rowan's another one.
No, I actually like.
I like Rowan. He's not. I think Braun's better, but I like Rowan.
No, what I'm upset about is. Now, here's my problem with...
Otis is entertaining.
Here's my problem. Yeah, we're talking about in the ring. But, I mean, I personally am not an Otis fan.
I think he's entertaining. I don't think he's a good wrestler.
I don't like his shtick. Like,
it's a one-note thing. It's not going to last long.
And it's not
and I'm okay.
And it's not funny to me. And it's not... I don't mean that in... That's not funny. I mean, I just don't find it humorous. It doesn't affect... I don't laugh at it. I just, Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is... What were we talking about before this Otis came out? So
EJK, yeah, I agree.
So you derailed me. What were we talking about before this own? Braun. Oh, Eric Rowan, that's right.
Oh, Rowan,
so
yes.
So the thing about Eric Rowan was, and here's my problem with the problem with the Roman Reigns experiment. It really hasn't translated to anything. Like, wins over Brock or getting even an elimination on the Rumble on Brock means something at this point. Roman, really, you get no credibility. There's no equity built up with Roman, no matter how much winning he's done. There really isn't any.
I know,
because Rowan has a victory, a straight-up victory against Roman Reigns. And now he's a joke. Like, he beat Roman Reigns 2 months ago.
Yeah.
If he beat Brock Lesnar 2 months ago, there is no way
he'd be relegated back to where he is.
Afterthought. Yeah. And Eric Rowan, big guy, beat Roman Reigns 2 months ago, or 3 or whatever, however long it was, and he never really gave the win back. Yeah, he lost that tag match, but he didn't get pinned. Luke Harper did.
Yeah, he did. You're 100% right.
So, I mean, did that take away some of the momentum by relationship?
Sure.
Yeah, it did. But he didn't really take the pin. So my point of the matter is, if the other way around, if Eric Rowan had beat Brock Lesnar, there is no way he's not a bigger deal by now. So, I mean, it's like Eric Rowan is somebody that I blame the fact that the Roman Reigns experiment failed because they haven't built up enough momentum with it. And other than that, like, name Roman's losses since he's gotten back. Like,
very few and far between.
He beat Drew McIntyre.
I think it's Corbin beat him. Rowan beat him, and I really I don't
think there's anything else. Yeah,
I don't really think there's been anything else.
And that's kind of what I'm looking at here. It's like
you would think
it should have been a bigger deal, but it wasn't because there's no equity built up in Roman, no matter how hard they pushed him, and that's ultimately one of my things. So we want to talk about failed experiment, or you want to talk about star power. The fact that Roman has a win over Roman means nothing is a problem.
And the other,
it is a problem.
It is. And a big thing is that the way they did it with Rowan too. I mean, it was big whodunit.
No, Harry, I didn't say Rowan beat Brock. I'm saying if hypothetically. I didn't say. I know that. I'm just saying hypothetically. It was an example, Harry. I wasn't saying it was.
But and I agree. It's the way they did it. They gave him a huge story too. It's not just like, oh hey, he randomly just beat him. No, he attacked him. There was a whodunit for like 6 weeks about it.
I do think it was the wrong storyline, only because it's like a big guy shouldn't do sneaky behind the backs attacks. It's kind of dumb.
Harry actually brings up a great point. He beat Corbin. He beat Drew McIntyre. Rowan did? Rowan Corbin. McIntyre and Shane, did they beat Roman? I don't think McIntyre ever beat Roman since he came back. And I definitely don't think Shane did. And maybe Shane did.
Yeah, maybe.
But
I'm
even
hazy
still,
on this.
it's almost a year.
But you get my point.
It's almost a year and it's 4 guys, you know? So it should be a big deal.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, because to be honest, I completely blanked on that Shane feud until right now.
I forgot that was even a thing.
Completely blanked on it until right now.
I forgot that was even a thing.
I believe you. I just don't have no memory of it. It's like the Dudleys and the Wyatts feud. Just don't, like, I know what happened. I just have no, like, I have no memory. I remember is them bringing out the tables with their names on it, the Wyatt family name on it. But like, that should have been a dream feud that I really, really cared about, and I just don't remember anything.
And yeah, you guys are probably right.
I totally believe you.
Shane beat Roman at Super Showdown. That's right.
I didn't watch it.
There you go. And that's fair. Look, you're 100% right, but still, look at the equity that you're talking about there. That's 3 or 4 people that beat Roman in the year he's come back.
That's all I'm trying to say is that there is, for whatever reason, beating him doesn't have a lot of significance, and it never really did. Let's also look at when Finn Balor beat him to become the one of the 2 number 1 contenders for the
that meant something
at the time.
Yeah,
but it faded pretty quick. Granted, his injury didn't.
Yeah, the injury really.
But I'm just saying, at any point in time, beating Roman Reigns has not meant a lot. It really hasn't.
Well, I mean, yes and no.
Seth has spanked him like a baby. You know,
Nakamura.
Don't hit your kids.
Nakamura winning the Rumble with him being last was a big deal. Because everybody thought it was going to be Roman, and then, it was like, oh, Nakamura beat Roman, took out Roman.
Like, that was. I'm pointing out is that all the pushing they've done for him, all this face of the company nonsense, he really doesn't have a lot of stock, and beating him means nothing.
Harry said that you watched Super Showdown with them.
No, wait, it wasn't that one. No, the last one I didn't watch. I watched the one I watched was the one with Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar. That's the one I didn't watch. Is that the one where Shane won against Roman? Because that one I didn't see. Tyson Fury beating. Tyson Fury and
maybe,
and Tyson Fury and Braun. I didn't see that.
I don't remember
that one. I didn't watch. If it was the one before that, then yeah, I guess I did watch it, and it's really bad because I really don't remember that. But if it's the one with Cain Velasquez and Tyson Fury, I didn't watch that one.
Crown Jewel 2019.
Was that the one I'm talking? I have no idea. So
Shane beat Roman at Super Showdown because of the Claymore kick from Drew. Okay.
Is that the one with the celebrities in it?
I don't know.
Yes, I watched the Super Showdown in Australia. Why, was that the one? That's real bad if that's the one, because I definitely watched that one. Dave might have slept. Yeah, that's true. I also did fall asleep during the one I did watch with you guys.
Oh, there you go.
It could have been during a Roman Reigns bar. It could have been during the Roman bar, because, just conked right out. Friday's live stream, I ate an ice cream cake on air by myself.
Good for you. That's awesome. So you were in a food coma.
But I didn't fall asleep.
Oh, all right.
And that was a long stream. Me and Steve were on for over 3 hours.
Wow.
What if Finn never got injured? No, that's a big one. I've noticed other YouTube channels doing my what if scenario gimmick, so now I feel weird about doing it, even though I think I did it first. But who knows? Maybe I didn't. Nothing's new on the internet anyway.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't get this one started on celebrities. Crown Jewel 2019 was Tyson Fury. Yeah, that one I didn't see. I didn't see that one with you. I saw the other one. I saw the one with the best in the... Well, I think I watched 2 of them with you. Because the one where Brock beat Braun Strowman, if you remember, I just turned off the TV. I said, I'm done. Sorry, guys. I want to save our whole thing, but I'm not going to. Done. I'm done. I'm done. And I got so mad, and I just turned it... When Brock just humiliated Braun, I just turned it off and left.
That's fair. That might have been it.
I was so angry.
That actually might have been the show.
But Roman wasn't at that show because it was for the title he relinquished.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so maybe not. I don't know.
But then there was another one where I fell asleep because I just got bored. And then the last one I just straight up didn't watch. I'm like, oh, great, Tyson Fury, Cain Velasquez. I'm good. I mean, political reasons. That's why I'm not watching. It's really because, politically, I'm against celebrity oppression in WWE.
Jesus. Dave, did you really shit your pants 3 times after that?
I did not. Oh, Yeah, Friday I kept. So there was a student who kept needing help, so I kept leaving to work on stuff, and they kept insisting I was in the bathroom.
He probably was.
And I ate the ice cream cake after I helped the student. They were insisting the whole entire stream that I was in the bathroom.
Hey,
You heard the knock on the door. You heard the phone ring. And Steve was with me vouching for me to saying that's not where I was going.
Oh, somebody else that's worse than the ring of Braun Strowman, Lacey Evans.
There's a million people worse than Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, that show he can't do it with everybody, but his match with the Big Show was unbelievable. Any one of his matches with the Big Show shows you that the guy can wrestle.
EJK, it's totally cool. Thank you for stopping by. Look, I don't crap on anybody for liking certain people. If you like Joey Janela, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just hate his guts.
Yeah, I make it very clear. Like,
True Sinister.
here's
Harry.
Yeah, I know.
Harry, you're right. Harry is the funniest person on the show.
No, his title's in jeopardy now. But I bring it up all the time because I'm very clear about what my tastes are, and it's like I just tell people, look at the math. What do you think? How do you like? Because I think it's important not just to know that how you feel about something, but know why you feel that way.
Yeah, that's fine.
And it's like I know I don't like empty. I don't like strikers. Like I really don't.
You don't. That's not your style. That's fine.
Like Cesaro, I like a lot, even though he does strike a little bit more than I'm comfortable with.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
He's like hot for me. That he's like real high on the list, but I don't like strikers. I don't like Steve Blackman.
Yeah.
I don't really like Aleister Black.
I know you don't.
I don't dislike Aleister Black, but he's just a lot of kicking for me. I don't like Tyler Breeze. There's a list, and so it's like
You're not a big Daniel Bryan guy either.
right. But I still respect him in ring to a degree.
Sure,
I like him way more than everybody you've mentioned.
I know, but you're not a Daniel Bryan guy.
Yeah. So when you mention Shawn Michaels, who just jumps and kicks, and you're like, oh, you're biased. First of all opinions are biased. Second of all, I'm not supposed to like him. Why would I? We were also talking about this on Friday, like wrestling styles. Kind of Triple H, style-wise. What the hell is he? I was saying Sting and Triple H. That's what Steve said. Because I'm like, is he a technical wrestler? I'm like, not really. And I'm like, Sting, what the hell do I characterize him as? Is he a technical wrestler? Those are two guys I have no idea where to put him.
Sting's actually in a category of his own.
But both of them, I don't know how to categorize them.
I mean, Triple H, I'd say he's more of a brawler than anything else.
That's exactly what Steve said. So.
But Sting is in his own category. I don't know.
That's what I mean.
Sting.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll give you that. Samoa Joe is a striker to a point. Samoa Joe is also a grappler. Samoa Joe has a good ground game.
Whoa. I'm sorry. I forgot that, he was called the submission machine.
Yeah, the Samoan submission machine. Yeah.
So let's remember that. And here's the thing. When Joe's a striker, I hate Joe's guts. When Joe wrestles, I like him. So, yes, I mean, Raw the Reflex, good point. But when Joe is just a kick punch machine, I can't stand it. And I even point out in my honest promos that there's sometimes he's guilty of just being kick punchy, kick and punch, kick and punch, kick punchy, and I can't stand it. Like, Backlash, and no, rest holds don't count as submissions. But like Backlash, horrendous, because I'm just watching two guys who punch, kick, and rest hold each other. And that's all, and finishers. That's all they do. I was bored out of my mind.
And that's
I was in the asshole section chanting "Beat the traffic." I was in the mean section of Backlash.
I mean, hey, look.
And I'm not trying to say the people around me were the asshole section. No. I'm full and admitting.
Richard Lee, no one should be Sister Abigail. Sister Abigail is gone.
Rosemary was my only option.
Yeah, I was okay with that. It's anybody that we haven't seen on TV before. And look, and the ship sailed. The ship sailed.
Ruby Riott could have been before she signed on NXT.
Yes.
But I think we can all agree, as long as it's not Bray Wyatt himself.
See, Pete Dunne, a lot of people categorize Pete Dunne as a striker. I don't think he strikes, but he's not a striker.
Yeah, and he also, and like, do we forget about British Strong Style? Am I absent in do we not forget that's Pete Dunne all the way? Like, and I mean, there are exceptions to rules, but Pete Dunne is not a striker. I'm sorry. I don't just watch him kick and jump and rest hold. Like, my criticism of Shawn Michaels, as you're going to see on Friday, is just that, kick, it's just strike, 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 jump. Or in the last time I was forced to watch a Shawn Michaels match, all he did was punch and kick. And it's like, nobody notices this. Like, and
that might be Dave's exception to the rule.
He is not. Whoa. High flyer. I'm sorry. He does strike a lot. Yes, I'm not denying it.
He does strike a lot.
But he's a high flyer.
Sure, no, more than anything else he is. But
and his match with Jerry Lynn, technical genius.
Oh, absolutely.
Forget about striking. Forget about high flying.
Absolutely.
That was Matt in wrestling at one of its absolute best. So easy with the Rob Van Dam calling him a striker. He is no kick punch machine. That is what. Forget about striker.
He is, but he has more elements to him.
When he was going against X-Pac, and it was just this kick.
Spin heel kick fest.
And I did not care for that. Could not have been more bored. But I weigh people. I tend to weigh people in their entire career. So I don't. Sometimes everyone has a good match. Like as I said before, Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle. I like that match. I still don't like Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels has had matches with Bret that I liked, of course, because Bret's in it. I'm not giving it to him. I look at the entire career.
Shawn and Jericho.
Sure.
What?
Yeah.
The ladder match?
Doesn't do it for me.
Great match.
I know. What?
That's good, Harry.
Who am I gonna be
That's really, really good.
Join my nip.
That's really, really good.
How is he not, like, you see what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's great.
He asked me on Friday, who do you think's the funniest? I'm like, I gotta go with Harry. Like, because Harry's broken me up where I had to stop for like 3 minutes because I was laughing.
That's really good.
Like,
Joint
he has gotten me. I really think it's got to be Harry. Nobody has been breaking me up as much. Oh yeah, why have we not talked about Matt Riddle Brock thing? And I'm going to refill while you think about that, or segue or something.
Oh, I don't. I mean, we can talk about it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
And yeah, Pete's a technical brawler, 100%. The bruiserweight gimmick is is true, and like Dave said, British strong style. Yeah, everybody has their own likes and dislikes, and that's fine. I respect the fact that Dave isn't. Yes, that's actually exactly what he's doing. He's in the bathroom right now. Wow, that was quick. I respect the fact that Dave doesn't deviate from like what he likes and dislikes. Really, basically ever. There's exceptions to every rule, but yeah.
Yes, change on Charlie. What was I thinking? Of course.
Exactly. But that's the thing. Like, I respect that, and it's the same thing as like when people
yes, True Sinister. Unfortunately, base up 100% predicted it. Anyway, continue.
Sorry. Dave, you don't really go back on a lot of the stuff that you say, and I appreciate that. It's like the same thing as somebody that says, "Yeah, I don't like the WWE for the past 5 years, so I stopped watching." Respect. Good for you.
As I said,
but for everybody who watches and then gets mad about, like, I can't believe that this show was terrible. If you thought the last 15 shows were terrible, chances are you're going to think that this show was terrible too.
You know what's really weird? I know people who still like the product and defend WWE who've been canceling their network subscriptions or just, it's like, or people who said, I'd rather have Disney Plus than have WWE Network.
Hey, that's your prerogative, though.
No, but people who still like, it's not like the people bitching about it are canceling. Well, I mean, they're canceling it too. But there are some hardcore people who are canceling it, even though they still like it. That I find weird.
I mean, look, it also comes down to a money thing too.
I don't. It's $10 a month.
Yeah, it is $10 a month. But when you have 75 things that are $10 a month,
I mean, but I don't. I mean, like, because I'm not getting Disney. But anyway,
I love Disney Plus.
Yeah,
it's
of course
great.
You do. You and Alexa Bliss, I'm sure, have it. Everyone's had it. I don't have it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm gonna land Alexa Bliss before you.
Yeah, I doubt that. Opposites attract, buddy.
Yeah, we are opposites. She's good looking and I'm not. So win.
Well, that is true. Well, hey, Dave, do you think the reason why Matt and Riddle got eliminated from the Raw? No, I don't. See, I
don't think so either.
A lot of people have been speculating about that. And
I
think
Matt Riddle's number was changed because of the thing, and that's why he didn't stay in the Rumble so long. I don't think so. I also think, who broke the story? Do you remember who broke the story about it? Ryan Satin.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Satin works for WWE. Did everybody forgot about that?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do forget about it.
Guess what that is? That, my friends, is called you're being worked.
Yeah, I mean,
WWE wanted you to know that Matt Riddle and Brock Lesnar got into a backstage altercation because Ryan Satin, who works for the WWE, broke that story. It's as simple as that. It's not hard to, you got to look at the source sometimes, guys. 95% of the time when this guy says something, it's probably not right. Which is why there's an F in front of his initials.
Albert is the king of the smarts, says Mark Strike.
Well, he's trying to be the funniest person in the chat. He's obviously wrong. Ryan Satin works for Fox? Yes, on a WWE program. Actually, I don't think he works for Fox. I think he works for WWE. I think he was hired by the WWE.
The question was, who did I find the funniest? And I find Harry the funniest.
Right.
He's the one who continuously he finds ways to surprise me and make me laugh. And of course, once again, is it a cheap tactic? Hey, it works. Is when he goes after Arthur and wins, like it's hysterical. Which he never loses against Arthur, but it's also funny. Like when the two of them go at it, and Arthur just gets put in his place by Harry every time. Of course, huge points for that. Is Drew face? Yes, Drew is face.
Yeah, 100%. The whole build has been a face turn for Drew. Even though which doesn't make any sense. He's squashing baby faces, but it was a way to get him over as a baby face, which didn't make any sense.
I kind of wish. Well, here's one thing I wish he was still doing. It was short lived, but when he just would yell at people's faces, like when
but that's heel Drew.
I don't know. No.
That's more heel Drew than anything else.
I don't care. I love it. You
so
can totally
good.
do it as a baby face.
But no, he did it.
But he's cooling down on it.
He did it in the Rumble.
But he's cooling down on it. And I love that.
The whole thing with Brock was great. Come on, Brock. What do you got for me? What do you got for me? Give it to me, Brock. It was great. It was so good. Just yelled in his face. Brock took off his gloves and everything.
Why is Harry going to get a cheaper pop culture? I don't get it.
I don't know.
Just turned the whole Rumble thing into a giant shoot fight. I don't like his chances, but
yeah. Kurt, I'm not saying it didn't work. I'm just saying it was a weird choice. Like squashing the Major Brothers, for what reason made Drew McIntyre a babyface? It didn't make any sense. Did it work? Sure. And count it if it goes.
Make it organic. Like,
right.
If that's there, that's there.
Yeah.
He gets you the cheap pops. Oh, I get it now. I see what you did. Ryan said needs to work at a truck stop.
You sure you're talking about Ryan Satin or David Meltzer?
Wow, Nate. Kurt Wagner, I hear you. Roderick Felix, Drew is a tweener. Do tweeners exist? Start the fighting now.
I mean, sure. I'll give you that.
I did an episode on it, but I don't have like a strong feeling on this one way or another, but I know some people who really have strong opinions on whether or not tweeners exist. And they're like really adamant about it.
Vince Russo wanted everybody to be a tweener. Did you not forget
There's some people who believe it's impossible. You cannot be a tweener. There's some people who don't think that's possible.
I think that the biggest guy in wrestling was a tweener his entire career. Austin was never a babyface. He got a babyface reaction, but he was a bad guy who beat up good guys. He never changed ever being a heel.
Me and
he
you
kicked
have very
people.
Different
He
opinions
kicked people in the balls. He hit people with chairs. He ran them over with cars.
Well, in your world, certain actions beget heel, period. And that's the way it works. But it's like things have to work in the context. In context, it matters. Because you insist Hogan's a heel because he back raped and choked people.
Hogan wrestled as a heel. He wasn't.
Because in your
he
head,
had heel tendencies. He wrestled as a heel, but he was never a tweener. He wrestled as a heel.
My point is, you think certain actions are just heel, period.
Was it not a heel move in the 92 Rumble? That's a heel move. Is dropping 3 elbows and then stopping and putting your boot across the guy's eyes and scraping it illegal? That's a heel move.
It's not illegal.
Yes, it is. You're not allowed.
It's frowned upon.
It's not. It's technically illegal. It's just as illegal as the 10 punch in the corner. Sure, certain things get get overlooked.
The 10 punches are legal. It's the 11th one that's illegal.
You might be right.
Closed fists are illegal. Everyone does it.
Not anymore. They put the kibosh on that a while ago.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right.
They also never enforced it like once, even before that.
Well, that's the thing. Casey is Raw. Hogan.
But that's like if he's a babyface, he's a babyface.
Hogan was a babyface, and he appealed to, and he tried to be a babyface. He talked to kids. He talked to he wanted kids to grow up and be strong and take their vitamins and say their prayers and everything. Austin was never.
No, Nate. They need tweezers. Very different. Very different.
Oh boy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
The deal. It's Samoa Joe. Yeah.
This is the first thing you actually said of relevance this entire chat.
Like
Good for
the
you.
thumbnail has my thumbnail for that video had CM Punk, Samoa Joe, and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right. Humberto just killed Andrade. I hope Andrade didn't really die. That's really gonna suck for Charlotte. Austin, Sabu, the Great Muda. Muda definitely.
Also New Japan does, or like Japanese wrestling, I think is off the table.
Yeah, but I'm talking about WCW Muda.
Okay, fine. But in Japanese wrestling doesn't. I pull it off the table only because they don't deal with heels and faces the way we do here in America. That's like saying someone's a tweener in AEW. AEW's all tweeners.
Yeah, and that's the thing I hate about AEW.
Same here. Then I know that there are some clearly defined heels and faces. I'm not gonna pretend like there aren't. I love that NWA has woken up and said, okay, we'll have Obvious good guys, obvious bad guys.
I appreciate that because it's old school. It's supposed to be that way.
The Rock, depending on which time period, but for the most part of his career, you knew which side of the line he was.
Yeah. I get. Look,
I think
there's a
they
difference,
exist, but they're few and far between.
There's a difference. The Rock, I get it. The Rock just was doing the same thing, and he kept the same shtick. That's fine. But it was very clearly defined when he became a babyface. Austin, it wasn't ever clearly defined. He feuded with Brett. He feuded with Shawn, and somewhere in the middle.
Well, the biggest one for Brett, I mean, you could make the argument. I don't know if you do or not, but you could make the argument that during the '97 run, Brett was a tweener.
Absolutely,
because he was a babyface in Canada.
Absolutely,
or just not America.
And I mean,
it's still one of the weirdest and most brilliant things I've ever seen. Like I just love that.
The coolest dynamic in wrestling.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
so cool.
I think they exist, but I think they're few and far between. Like, Samoa Joe is a very good example. I wouldn't say he's never been definitively heel or face. There have definitely been times where you know where he is. He's definitely a face now.
Yeah, 100%.
Brock, but also Brock Lesnar has been mostly a tweener.
Yeah, he's just
in his current iteration. He's been
he was like they had that baby face turn when he was facing Rollins, but it was just because Rollins was the guy he needed to go after, he had the belt. So
and he's in a ring against Rollins and Seth and John Cena. One's a face, one's a heel, and he's in the middle.
Right.
Like some people cheer him, some people boo him, and he's just always Brock Lesnar. Like usually the tweeners to me, the guys who are just being like whatever they are.
The deal, I just tell things as it is.
Was in DX and was heel. Yeah, Shawn Michaels was a heel.
Yeah, he was a heel. It was clearly defined.
I mean, not the comebacks where like the Green Paint Spirit Squad. DX. No, he's a babyface then. But no, in the original run, he was definitely a heel.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are people who argue that he was a face at the time. Those people are stupid.
I agree.
I've had people argue that he was a babyface.
Those people don't know what they're talking about, so that's fine. Austin Aries is a tweener. Yeah, Austin Aries is another good example. He was like,
well, I think there are reasons why that has happened.
He was just himself all the time.
Yeah,
an asshole.
All right. Okay, there you go. I was like, yeah, there we are.
Macho Man was never a tweener. Macho Man was clearly a clearly a heel, clearly turned babyface.
Most of the time, but
and then clearly turned heel.
NWO Macho, I think he was.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I was talking about WWF Macho. I'll give you that. NWO Macho, yes, 100%.
He eventually turned over for good, but there was that period of time where you really just didn't know where he was at.
Yeah. AJ Styles is not a tweener. AJ Styles has always been a clearly defined heel or a clearly defined face.
Yeah, it's not just a heel that's getting over. That's not
right. Yeah, just because, and that's the same thing. Like it's not
Owens. I understand that, but no, he's definitely a babyface.
Yeah, Owens is now a babyface.
There was a period of time.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, 100%. Like that beginning of the whole Shane McMahon storyline,
and for a brief period of time, brief points in his career, Jericho too.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not just a heel who gets over. It's just somebody who has it's kind of it's either someone has no
right.
allegiances
like,
or
Bray Wyatt's not a tweener. Bray Wyatt's a heel
who's getting cheered. Yeah.
He's just getting cheered because the gimmick's the best gimmick in the wrestling business.
Yeah. Because he's facing bad guys, he's facing good guys. He's fighting good guys. He's being the heel here.
Yeah. So the deal that actually the second relevant thing you said in the chat, for that little brief period of time, Johnny Gargano was a tweener. There was that brief period of time where he was cool with Ciampa.
I think it was just a heel turn that wasn't working.
I think they wanted.
I think he was heel. Like I think he was very much heel.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody really believed it. And,
no, but I think.
And I don't think Gargano sold it that way. And I also don't think that Gargano even believed he was a heel.
I think he did.
I don't know.
I think he did because he attacked Aleister Black behind his back.
Yeah,
that was a heely thing. Like, and it's not like.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, you're right. You're 100% right. I take it back. You've only said one relevant thing. Good call. Fair is fair.
Pre-DX 96 face champion Shawn was still acted like heel DX obnoxious 1997. Well, he's always obnoxious, and as far as I'm concerned, always a heel. I mean, can we at least agree on that? Anybody who disagrees with my opinions on Shawn Michaels, who's wrong? I think it's safe to say he's better as a heel than a face.
Oh, 100%, I agree.
Like, you know, as a smarmy chicken, like that's kind of what he is. Like, I think we can agree that's kind of what he's made for.
And degenerate, yes, heels versus heels can definitely work. Do you want
a
great example?
Also rough.
But you want a great example of a heel versus heel match that was great, and I know this is going to be very weird to say because it's a very obscure match. Austin Aries, Bobby Roode in TNA, one of the best heel versus heel matches I've ever seen. They both try to do like the whole they both try to cheat. Like they both were just being The name of their team was the Dirty Heels, and they both were just being dirty heels to each other throughout the entire match. It's great.
Ben Espinosa, I don't know if I ever was blocked with Shawn Michaels on Twitter. I don't know that he's on Twitter. I have no idea. But since yesterday was a Royal Rumble, I would like to bring up another example of how it didn't work. And this match always stood out to me. For some reason, I've always remembered it very strongly, and nobody cares about it. But I don't remember which year. I just remember that it happened. But Triple H versus Kurt, I think it was 2000, Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble.
It was.
It was a heel.
2000.
It was a heel
Yeah.
because you were there, right? Yeah.
I wasn't there, but you're 100% right.
But it was a heel versus heel match.
It was a heel versus heel match.
And granted, the Rumble's the safest spot where you could put that on.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to worry about ruining your main event if it doesn't work because
Right.
the Rumble's the main event. So it's
Right.
the safest spot. But it was an odd heel.
Oh, that
versus-
Harry just said it in 2001. But
2001.
yeah.
I apologize. But it was an odd heel versus heel main event or title match, and nobody really talks about it, but it always stood out to me.
Yeah. No, and I like the idea.
You
And
know
it
what
was,
I'm saying? But it fell so under the radar. Because,
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the pinnacle examples of what WWE looks at as, well, clearly heel versus heel doesn't work. Well, this didn't work. Like, I think it's...
But it did. I thought it was all right.
Its legacy is so bizarrely small.
It's just,
And they know-
it would have been a
and
completely
they-
different story if Angle didn't get concussed
But-
3 seconds into the match.
But they also know both of them are able of drawing on their own. Well,
Yeah.
Kurt Angle is. The point is they get better buzz individually, so it was a heel versus heel match that they thought could have worked, and it didn't. So I feel that's like one of the examples that a lot of people look at,
The
or at
latter,
least
Kurt.
WWE looks at, that says heel versus heel don't
Yeah.
work. But it's an odd one for me because I don't think it's a bad match, but I just find it very odd how much no one cares about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there you go. Imperium versus Undisputed Era was just actually just heel versus heel. That's a great point.
Yes, that is a good point.
Yeah.
Here's a question.
So Kurt actually, I say the latter. He said that Eddie was a tweener, but he wasn't. He was a face with heel tactics. He just used the heel tactics, but he was
It
definitely
was a heel that
babyface.
eventually got over, but when they got over, there was a definitive time where you knew we got over. But
Right,
that's
and-
another example of a guy who, he cheated, but he was a babyface.
Right.
And then afterwards, he stopped cheating and then became heel. So it's like,
Right.
just because you say Hogan did heel things, that doesn't make you a heel.
I never said Hogan was a heel. I just said he had
Wrestled like a
he
heel.
wrestled
I
like a
don't
heel.
agree because-
he wrestled like a heel. Eddie wrestled like a heel too. That's fine. I'm not saying that Eddie.
It's in context. It's not about what they do. It's how they do it in the context of how they're doing it.
Ooh, Nasty Nate. That's another good one, and that didn't work either.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. There are a whole bunch of them. It's just I find them very odd. Like when it happens, there's a bunch of these things where it's just like, why did this happen? I don't know. Dave Hogan had.
Hogan absolutely had lust in his eyes.
He
Dave.
said list in his eyes, so he's clearly talking about Chris Jericho.
Maybe.
So clearly,
And I'm really upset. Nobody actually complimented my Drew McIntyre impression. I thought it was pretty solid.
you're entitled to your opinion.
I thought it was solid. I didn't say anybody else did. I'm saying they should have. It's my opinion that their opinion should be that I did it good. Flair versus Hogan? When? It depends on when.
I'm trying to remember that barbed wire steel cage match were they both heels? Hogan was, but was Flair?
I think they both were.
I'm not sure.
Well, it was a double. No, I don't know. It was supposed to be a double turn. I think Flair was a face, and then it was a double turn.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, now that was a match that also surprised me. Talking about, I thought this would be crap matches that turned out that. Well, in that case, I actually liked that match.
Yeah.
I'm like, these two at their age
Again?
in a barbed wire match, I'm like, a cage match, I'm like, this is going to be horrendous. And I watched, I'm like, wow, I liked it. I straight up liked that match. I was like, wow, this match is actually pretty good.
It's the same thing with Flair and Foley in that hardcore, like when they had those hardcore matches. I was like, that's just not going to be
every
good.
Once in a while, you get surprised. And it's like both of them said, don't get it twisted. We can turn it on anytime we want to.
Yep. True Sinister, why do you owe Drew McIntyre an apology? Not definitely not for my impression. It was
But
very
I'm
solid.
also weird about double turns. Like, I have a real strict list of what I count as a double turn. And
Based up, that doesn't have Shawn Michaels in it. You can't do that. It's a bad one.
yeah, that's another bet.
I feel like I see. Here's the thing. I don't feel like I've ever been a heel. I think that I'm actually the babyface in a lot of these scenarios, and everybody else just is completely stupid when it comes to talking about professional wrestling.
Working himself into a shoot. You see that?
No, I'm being completely serious.
Oh, you are completely wrong.
No, I'm not.
You're the one who yells and his anger. That is healing. You don't hear them yelling.
Because I can't hear them.
Whatever. Point still remains.
Actually, that's not true. Harry
Somehow some of them do get
is in caps all the time, so he's yelling at me.
I don't have a problem with it, but yeah, I never realized until right after I said it. I'm like, Harry does write in all caps. I don't know why. I mean, it's not a bad. I don't mind, but I'm just saying.
The Alberto Del Rio Del Ziggler was that was a
that is a double.
Yeah,
turn,
that was
yes.
a double turn.
Yes, that one I acknowledge. In my episodes of Double Turn, I talked about it. I have like a strict I'm real strict about which ones count as double turns and which ones don't.
And Mark Strike again. No, I'm not a heel. Everybody who just bitches and moans and complains about everything is a heel. Baby faces stand up for things that are right. That's what I do.
WWE, definitely not right most of the time.
It's the most successful wrestling promotion.
So having lots of money means you're a good person. I get it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay then.
Bill Gates is a great person.
Bret Austin.
Is he not?
Bret Austin.
Is Bill Gates not an amazing human being? Is Mark Cuban not a great person?
Well, Mark Cuban's cool. Bret Austin definitely was a double turn. That's like, there's one more that's like, to me, I have three major double turns in my head. Bret Austin's one.
Yeah.
Dolphin Del Rio's is the third. The second one is I'm sorry, I'm not going in any order whatsoever. But there's another one that I count as a definitive double turn, and after that, we start negotiating.
Adam Gase is not rich, and he's a horrible person. He's a horrible coach. He's not a horrible person. I don't know him personally, but he's a horrible coach.
Turn Bray and Seth, my opinion. Yeah, but I'm okay with the storylines being separate, like Seth's heel turn being independent, because I like.
And Bray is not a babyface. That character's not a babyface. It's not supposed to be a babyface.
I mean, it can in time, maybe. I mean, but now is not the
not the Fiend. The Fiend can never be a babyface.
I said that about the Undertaker, and you know what? It worked out better than I thought it was going to.
I mean, I guess you.
And Jake Roberts too. It's like.
I guess I see what you're saying. If a heel, maybe like if Corbin is going after him, now he's got to send the Fiend out against him.
I brought this up before. Like, I think they gave up on Miz's face turn again a little too quickly.
I agree too. Now. I actually think he was. No, the first time it wasn't working. It really just didn't work.
No, but I blame booking on that one. They shouldn't have given him the figure four when he didn't know how to do it. Number one problem, like, how can you give this guy this move, put him next to Ric Flair, and then watch him botch it every time? Like,
yeah, it was really bad.
He does it great now.
Yeah, he finally.
All right, maybe
there.
Not great, but he does it good now.
He's better.
Yeah, he does it about as good as I did when I was 12. But that's neither here nor there.
But they had to keep the storyline going with Bray.
The plot was right here to me. The key to flipping a guy is just having them do all their heel shtick, but just do it to bad guys instead. The tee-up was right there, because WrestleMania, not the first WrestleMania that they went, but with the mixed tag with Cena, people were loving The Miz because all he was doing was talking smack about Cena. You just let him do that. Just be a smarmy douchebag to bad guys instead. Same thing with Elias. Rock. Yeah, Rock too.
Yeah,
when
that's
Elias,
what he did.
They failed Elias because Elias was supposed to be doing all of his shtick to bad guys.
Yeah.
And
no, he's kind of doing it now.
He's doing it now, but it's like they just didn't wake up. But for The Miz, it was right there. King Corbin. Miz and Corbin should have been the feud, and Miz should have just done all of his shtick right to Baron Corbin, and his face turn would have been solidified. Because like trying to partner on with Daniel Bryan and say, "Oh, we're friends now. That's why I'm a babyface." Makes no sense, because it's like, why are you two friends? Yeah. It's like, I get that. Oh, because you're a good guy now. You two shouldn't be friends.
You should never be. Yeah, they should never be friends
unless some reason happens. Like there's nothing other. They just start hanging out together. I see when it comes again. I haven't really been getting this. I've been kind of tiptoeing around it. But same thing with Steve. Same thing with that statement right there. Degenerate. Not saying you're wrong. Same thing with Albert. A lot of people say, "Oh, where's Liv Morgan's star power? Or where's so and so just can't do this, or can't be a face, or can't be a heel, or they can't play this part." I think that's nonsense. I think it's all in presentation. You play to someone's strengths, see what you can do with them, and then if you have this objective and you understand what you're working with, you can get them from point A to point B, and that's booking. I blame booking more than I blame the talent for a lot of these failures, because it's their fault. It's the storyline, and it's how they master the art of storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that, but there are some times that aren't. That certain guys just aren't cut to be certain things.
Sure.
I think the Miz.
Spike Dudley is never going to be a super heavyweight. Yes, that is true.
I think the Miz is a better heel than he is a babyface.
I think he is a better heel too.
I also think that the Miz could work as a babyface if they booked him the right way.
Right. And some people say Seth can't be a babyface. I don't think.
I think Seth was over as hell as a babyface before the whole Becky Lynch incident. Seth was over as hell as a babyface.
The Twitter.
That too.
I think it's the Twitter more than the
I think so too, which is absolutely ludicrous because he was right in everything he said.
It's the way he says it. Like, it comes across douchey. People,
It's fine.
You know what? No, it's not. Because here's the thing. Today, in today's day and age, people don't like douchey. It's like if you're like a big, strong, scary brute guy, that you're better off being that than a douchebag in today's society.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So if you're like Samoa Joe, that's classically a heel from the 80s. Like, if Samoa Joe came out in the 80s, he'd be perma-heel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He'd be perma-heel, tribal gimmick and all.
Yeah.
Perma-heel.
What the hell was the gimmick that they gave him in TNA for a while?
Yes.
The face of destruction or whatever the hell that was. It was
Permanently. If
Yeah.
he came out in the 80s, that's what he would be.
He had the thing on his face. Yeah.
If he was in the 70s or the 80s, permanent heel, that would be the story for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you could be that and still be a good guy.
Right.
But if you're a douchebag, you can't be a good guy douchebag. And if you want an example of back in the day when somebody was a good guy douchebag, your stupid boy Shawn Michaels. There's a good guy douchebag.
Yeah.
You can't be douchey today and be a baby.
Nation of Violence. There you go. The deal actually. There you go. All right. So there's your second smart thing you've said the entire time.
Joe would jump to Hogan all the time. Yeah, you can't just nowadays. You can't, that would he'd be on the King Kong Bundy list, earthquake list. Yeah, that would be Samoa Joe. Yeah, that's where he would be.
Oh, True Sense said that Steve is a heel. I don't know if he's that much of a heel.
Usually not. Like, here's the difference. People were saying, I miss Steve. How come we haven't seen Steve in a while? And it's like, coincidentally, I knew he was going to be here, and then so he came on. But so I don't know about that. Steve seems pretty over. I'm sure some people miss you when you're not around, buddy. I mean,
people do.
They might not say it, but I'm sure they feel it.
No, people do say it sometimes. It's rare. It's rare. AJ Envoy, my boy.
Vinny Montana.
Yes, another one.
Oh, Vinny Montana got responded to by the showrunners on Arrow.
That's awesome. Corey Graves likes my tweet about his podcast. It was a really nice thing. I'm a big Corey Graves mark, regardless. So.
All right, gotta wrap this show up.
Yeah,
it's been good. Thank you so much for the super chat, guys. Very, very generous. Thank you for keeping the channel going. Hope everybody enjoyed their time here. Thank you again. I cannot thank you enough for the super chats. Very, very kind of you. You guys rock. Again, Albert, where are you gonna be?
So no, obviously no show today. No football show today because it's 10 o'clock and I would have done that at 9. But Slam Sessions Network on YouTube, Facebook.com/the Slam Sessions Podcast Network. Guys, if you're on Facebook, just please join that and just interact with a little bit more of the community because I tend to say the same heel things over there than I do on here, and I'd like to get your opinions on how much you think I'm wrong and how much I'm actually right and you guys are completely wrong.
Yeah, and as I prove all the time, it's very easy to prove him wrong. Like,
I'm never wrong.
Yeah,
I've never been wrong.
It's real easy.
Name one thing I've ever said that was wrong.
You said that Dave Meltzer never predicts anything accurately in his reports, and he totally called that Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler was going to happen.
That was...
You said not one thing, and there's been others.
A blind squirrel gets a nut every once in a while.
His entire coverage during the steroid trial, is extremely necessary and was extremely important.
He was a news reporter.
Extremely important.
I could have done the same thing if I didn't.
But you didn't.
It was 1991, Dave.
Well, he started when his first publication for his Wrestling Observer was when he was a kid himself. So
I was still 6.
No excuse.
No, it's a lot of an excuse. I didn't even know.
He was a little bit older than you, but still not much. Point and met, and also the point is that's not even here nor there. Invaluable during that time for the industry. It was extremely important that there was a non-WWE person reporting about that.
Don't care.
It changed.
He's still a douche.
It changed the industry. And it changed.
Okay, so you're saying that the one good thing that he did was that he reported fairly one time on something that every other major news outlet reported.
They didn't get the sources he got.
And most of those sources were always wrong. It just so happened that the people inside WWE didn't want to rat out their boss. I'd want my job too.
His specific reporting changed the industry.
My shirt says it all, Dave.
And I'm not the biggest Meltzer guy. I just acknowledge that is one of the biggest changes there is. There is a really long hair over there, and I have no idea where that's from.
That's a really long hair.
Okay, anyway.
Definitely not mine or yours.
All right, gotta go. Thank you so much for being here. Weird side note that we ended on, but as always, Dave knows.